this is a little bit strange that we're starting with Brentford versus Arsenal. I'm guessing it's just how the fixtures kind of fell. Like you would imagine we would start with like Manchester City. Like Manchester City versus Brentford, I could understand that. Man City obviously won the Premier League last year. But to start with Arsenal, there's not really any need to start with Arsenal. But here we are. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's a little bit strange. But yeah, Arsenal versus Brentford. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting game. There's lots to look out for with this one. Lots to look out for with this. Very much excited for this game because Brentford, brand new to the Premier League. They are looking to establish themselves. They are really looking to show that they are Premier League quality. There's loads that we can talk about with Brentford as well. So, very much looking forward to seeing what Brentford are going to be like in the Premier League. And Arsenal are a really, really good test. Arsenal are absolutely Premier League quality. You can say what you want about Arsenal, but they are definitely Premier League quality. Even though they're going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment, they are Premier League quality. And because I know there'll be a lot of banter out there, people saying, are they? Are they really? Yes, they are. So last season, I think they finished about 8th. Arsenal are a side that have won the Premier League multiple times. They are seen as one of the big powerhouse teams in the Premier League. They're the kind of team that historically was always in the Champions League, which is like the big competition in Europe. So historically, they're always in and around that Champions League kind of picture. They're not at the moment. They're actually not at the moment. They're going through a bit of a rough patch. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see, could Brentford get a win against a struggling Arsenal, an Arsenal that's still trying to find its feet? Are Arsenal back now? Are they going to get a win against a Brentford team that's just been promoted? Like, there's so many different ways that this could go. And I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing what we've got in store. So, the big thing for this season as well is that I really want to hear from you guys. I really want to hear what you've got to say. So, make sure that you're getting your points across. Make sure that you are getting across anything you want to talk about in regards to your teams. I don't even mind if they're not playing today. Perhaps you're just excited for this weekend, but I definitely want to hear from you guys what you think about the game, what you think about your team's chances, so on, so on, so on. There's a lot for us to go through. I'm actually, the information on the teams should be out as well, so we'll see if we can find that also. Tall Paul says, no European football this year, which I think will help their league campaign, which is a really good point. I think there's a very good chance that Arsenal will benefit from that and not having to worry about having to go into Europe as well. I definitely agree. I think that is going to be of benefit. I think this is the kind of game, though, that you look at this and think there's a big opportunity here for Brentford to get a win. Their fans are desperate for this. Like, they have waited so long. This is their first time in the Premier League, and it's been really interesting kind of doing a bit of research into them. Toney, I think last season, scored 30-odd goals in the Championship, which is the league below. And they got promoted. They've got a really good all-round team. They tend to use a lot of stats to kind of try and decide who the right players are to bring in. Like, they're very data-driven. So they do very much Moneyball, keeps getting mentioned. So they very much look at statistics, try to identify players that, maybe the rest of the world aren't really looking at. They remind me a bit of the whole Red Bull kind of outfits abroad. They do a similar thing where they try to identify great players that maybe just fly a little bit under the radar using data analysis. And, Brentford have massively taken to that. As a result, we've seen some fantastic players like Ollie Watkins was at Brentford. They've got Ivan Toney right now, who's smashed in 30-odd goals last season. So they've been building for a while. They've been in and around the playoffs for a while, and they finally got promoted. And here we are. So this is going to be very exciting to see what do Brentford bring to the party. I'm very much expecting a draw. I'm just going to go and put it out there right now. I'm expecting a draw. I'm expecting something here that's going to result in either a Brentford draw or a Brentford win. I don't see an Arsenal win. Arsenal are coming into this match without Aubameyang and Lacazette as well. So I think they're going to be struggling a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see how this plays out. And as I said, let me know your thoughts on the game and on your teams. Drift Lewis says, Days, who do you think will get relegated? I'm a Newcastle fan. I think Norwich, Watford and Southampton. I think that Brentford will be all right. When I did the Premier League prediction video the other day, I said that I thought that Brentford would be all right. I think that it's going to be Norwich and Watford. Those are two of the three teams that came up along with Brentford. I think the third team you can really debate. I think there's several contenders. To be honest, I don't think that Southampton is going to be the one that goes down. I think that we're looking at Crystal Palace. I've gone with Palace. And the reason that I went with Palace was because I've not seen much in the way of recruitment. They had a few contracts that they had to let expire. There's a few contracts they couldn't afford to renew. And it was really messy, actually. I remember hearing from Andros Townsend saying that he didn't even know if he was going to be around in the next season. No one had contacted him. He had no idea if he was still a squad player or not. I think it was on TalkSport that he actually went on and said all of this. So it was quite shocking that no one had got in touch with him to tell him what was going on. And his contract expired, and that was it. He was gone. But I know Van Aanholt left as well, and the players that seemingly have been brought in, just are kids, youth. There's a little bit of money that's been spent there, but really not much considering what they need. I think they finished about 14th or so last season. And I said in my prediction video the other day, I think that Palace can drop a couple of positions. Once you're getting down to 16, 17, you are in the dogfight then. And last game of the season, I can see him slipping into that 18th position. Obviously, if you're in America and you're new to football, you might not realise or know that the bottom three teams in the league at the end of the season, they go down, they get relegated, they actually go to a different league. So they get relegated and three teams from the Championship come up and take their place next year. Now, you don't want to leave the Premier League because all eyes are on this league. This league is, one of the biggest leagues. I think it's the fifth most successful league around the world. So you don't want to leave this league. If you're in this league, you're making serious money. So you definitely don't want to be leaving this league. But I've gone with Palace. I think that they could get a way of avoiding relegation, but it's going to be hard for them. It's going to be really, really hard for them. What does relegated mean? It means we are going to have people asking these kinds of questions, and I love these questions because what that says to me is there's people watching that are new to the Premier League, which is brilliant. It's brilliant to see new people joining and enjoying the product. So relegation means that you actually go down to the Championship. It means that you are no longer in the Premier League. The Premier League is 20 clubs. So you've got 20 sides. Those 20 will play each other twice. Once at home, once away. And then at the end of the season, the team with the most points wins. And it goes, obviously, the team with the least points gets relegated. And when you get relegated, you're removed from the league next year. You don't play in the Premier League anymore. You can't play Manchester United and Liverpool and those kinds of teams. You have to go to a lesser league and play there next year, which you won't get as much money if you're in that league. So everyone is fighting to be in the Premier League or stay in the Premier League. This is why every match matters. Like you get 3 points for winning, 1 point for a draw, no points if you lose, and that's the Premier League. That is the Premier League. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and what a great game to start us off with, because as we said, this game is a game that is very much going to show us where are Brentford. I think we're going to get a very good read today as to are Brentford going to be able to survive in the Premier League. I feel safe with Bully in the chat. William, shout out to you. John says, what football team do you support? I support Man United. I've said before, though, I'm really not looking for these kind of watch-alongs to be anything that's kind of, banter and all that kind of stuff. I just want to sit back, watch the games, talk to the fans, get their perspectives. If they're frustrated with something, what are they frustrated about? If they really like something, what are they really enjoying? I want to, I just want to do that, to be honest. So who I support doesn't massively matter, because I'm not looking to be like, shouting at the Arsenal or having a go at Leeds or having a pop at Liverpool. I'm not really interested in that. I just want to sit back and just really enjoy all the matches we're going to watch, because we are going to be watching plenty of matches this season. We've got this first one coming up, then we've got a couple tomorrow, and a couple on Sunday as well. It's a busy weekend. I think we've got about 5 matches this weekend. Shakeem said, I came to say hi. Shout out to you. Harley said, I've got a preview for tonight's SmackDown. Cool. Appreciate it. Days, you got me into football. I didn't watch it before, but since the Euro streams, I actually really enjoy it. Well, that's good, bud. That's good. I mean, I'm currently in the process of trying to find the game, because I know that the game is on Sky Sports. So I'm just in the process of making sure that we can get to Sky Sports to watch it. It doesn't start for another 45 minutes. Yes, Euros were a massive success. They've definitely brought people in. Saka is playing tonight. Obviously, Saka, heartbreaking for him. And we saw him miss that penalty. I'm hoping that he gets a really good round of applause from all the fans when he comes onto the pitch today. That'll just be a little something to keep an eye out for. But yeah, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to get the season underway. Support the players that I've got in my fantasy team. And just see the story of the season. There's going to be so many stories. There's going to be teams fighting for relegation. There's going to be teams fighting to win. There's going to be teams, if you finish in the top 4, then you get a Champions League place next year. That's important. That's more money, and you get to play against the best teams in Europe. But you can only do that if you finish in the top 4. So I think teams that finished in the top 4 last year were Man United, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool. I believe those were the top 4. So they will be playing in the Champions League this year. But we're going to be battling away to find out who is going to be the team or teams that will make up the 4 this season. So we're going to be going all the way through till about May. I think it's May time that the season ends. So it's a long season. Today is the first day, and as we said, we will be going straight the way through. There was a Spurs and Arsenal friendly last week, and both set of fans gave Saka a warm welcome, says MK Guna 92. Shout out to you, my friend. That's good to know. That's good to know. He definitely deserves that, and I'm looking forward to seeing him today. And I just remember the banter that Gareth Southgate got when he missed that penalty in 96. I said this during the Euros. I was like, I'm so pleased that we've moved away from that, because he was having to do ads for Pizza Hut when he missed that penalty in 96. I remember he did an advert with Stuart Pearce and Chris Waddle, and the advert was all over TV, and he had like a bag over his head because he was ashamed that he'd missed the penalty. And like there's a you look at it now and you're like, I can't believe that Pizza Hut had him do that kind of a thing. Like, you look back on it now and you go, that's awful. Like, it's like public humiliation. I know it's tongue-in-cheek and it's just meant as a bit of fun and whatever, and, you know, whatever, but it's just like, I don't know, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't look great in this day and age. It's not aged well at all. I can't imagine that Pizza Hut are proud of it. I can't imagine it's one that they look back on with fondness. And I'm really pleased we don't do that kind of thing now. So yeah, I hope that Saka gets a warm response. Like an ocean. Oh, it's gone. Will Harry Kane stay at Spurs? Says Big Boy Tobias. Will Harry Kane stay at Spurs? I think that he will. I know that there's rumours that Man City are looking to come in with another offer of 130 odd million. Could that be enough to tempt the sale? Maybe. But I think at the moment we are looking at Harry Kane staying. Days, I've got a question. Who's the danger men for this match? That's a great question. I mean, what I would say with Brentford is that... So Brentford like to play on the front foot. Brentford are actually quite an attacking team. They've been compared to Leeds and what Leeds have done with the way that they break forward, always looking to attack. They're not a team that's just going to sit back and just kind of accept being pushed around or hoping to cling on. They are a team that is here to play. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they can do against the Premier League team. That's what I'm looking forward to. And like a proven Premier League team like Arsenal. But, yeah, I think that Toney is definitely a problem. Toney is definitely someone that can cause some issues for them. For the Arsenal. He scored the most championship goals. As well as that, we've got Norgaard is a very, very good midfielder for Brentford as well. In fact, attacking-wise, their attacking unit is actually very strong. So I do like Brentford. As we said, you know, they go on the front foot. They like to keep possession. They're here to play. Make no mistake about it. They are here to play. They're not just here to make up the numbers. They are absolutely here to play. In regards to Arsenal, I think they are without Lacazette and Aubameyang. So we're probably going to be looking at Saka and Smith Rowe and players along those lines. Tierney, of course, very dangerous going forward as well. I still haven't seen the teams, to be honest. So we can have a look and see who's actually starting. We could probably do that through OneFootball. It's probably all over Twitter as well, in all fairness. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what both teams bring. Days, for a newbie like me to football, what information should I know? Like the best teams, best players, and what's the most enjoyable to watch? Yeah, so if you are new to football... there's no penalties in the Premier League. If there's a draw, then both teams just get 1 point. So if you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, you get no points. If you draw, you get 1 point. Right? So that's kind of where we are. And we are. What do you need to know really? Manchester City were the champions last year. The three teams that came up were Norwich, Watford, and Brentford. Norwich and Watford have been in the Premier League before. Brentford haven't. We would expect those teams to go straight back down. The Premier League is such a hard league to stay in that really you would probably expect Brentford, Watford, Norwich to go straight back down, right? The teams that come up probably go straight back down. It's really hard because you need to be beating teams that have been in the Premier League for a while. I think Brentford have got enough to stay up. So when we're watching today's game, things to look out for would be obviously the result, but not just the result, the performance. You know, is it a case that Brentford have been battered in this game, but then, you know, won it 1-0, right? Because that would say, okay, they got the result, but they were really lucky. They should have lost. And over a season, that will catch up with them. Or is it that Brentford actually can go toe-to-toe with Arsenal? Is it that Brentford can actually play? There's going to be a bit where they're on the back foot, of course, because Arsenal are a great team. They're still a great team. So for today's game, we're looking at not only the result, but how do Brentford play, right? Are they confident? What's Ivan Toney like in the Premier League? We know that he can do it in the Championship, but what's he like in the Premier League? The Championship is the level below. So now they've come up. How is he in the Premier League? We've not seen him in the Premier League. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what can he do in the Premier League. So those are a few things to keep an eye out for in regards to Brentford. In regards to Arsenal, Arsenal have actually got a manager who's been with them for a little while and is a bit unproven. There's a lot of people, you'll see Arteta out quite a bit. People want Arteta out. He is the Arsenal manager, and a lot of people want him to go because they don't feel that he is good enough. They don't think that he is someone that can take Arsenal forward. This is a big season for Arsenal. They've got to prove themselves. So, we're looking at Arsenal and how they play, and are we seeing development? We're looking at Brentford. Are they Premier League quality? So we're keeping an eye on that as well. That's what we're kind of looking at in this match. And plus also fans being back. The fans weren't around last season. So fans are back. So it's very, very interesting watching fans be around. And seeing what that's going to mean. So I'm very much excited. Very much excited for this opening. Get underway. Keep an eye on those things. And we go from there. Days, I'm a Borough fan. Did you know Middlesbrough were the first team to build a new stadium in the Brentford era? Did I know they were the first to build a stadium in the... No, I didn't. I didn't realise they were the first, no. Nice. I'm actually hyped for it. Glad I've got this stream. Probably wouldn't have caught my eye since I'm in America. Amazing. Shout out to you, bud. There is penalties in the Premier League, but only if a player gets tackled in the 6-yard box. Yes. So you wouldn't get penalties if the match is drawn. That's what I meant, like a penalty shootout. I like the youthfulness of this Arsenal team. Hopefully the young lads will play with expression and without fear. I like that. That's cool. Wish I could have gone tonight, but tickets went fast, says Wrestling Fan Man. Well, they would. They would. This is the return of Premier League football. This is something that people really, really are excited for. And you can understand why. You can totally understand why. This is a massive, massive deal. And, it's good. I just keep saying I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just getting underway with the action. Days, I'll be watching Sin Cara's Wolves this season. Hello, Wrestle with Andy. Hope you're well, bud. Can I just say that it's took me 20 minutes of messing around. If I've seemed a bit distracted, it's totally because I was distracted. It's took me 20 minutes to get Sky Sports working. So that's what I've been wrestling with. I feel like now I can actually sit down and give you for the first time, I can give you my undivided attention. So, we are, look, this is massive. This is absolutely huge. Am I right in saying that this is the first time Brentford are going to be playing in this stadium? Like, we are in Brentford. Brentford is in just south west London, I believe. I know it's London area. So Brentford are in London. Arsenal are in London. We've got those two London teams kicking us off As we said, the season will go all the way through till May. Most games are on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. I think we've got a good chunk of games tomorrow at that time. Traditionally, that is when the football would be in the UK. It would be 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Obviously, Eastern time in America, that would be 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's not too bad. I mean, people are up by then. It's kind of a nice time, actually, because it means that you can kind of watch the football largely, and it's done by lunchtime. And then you've got the rest of Saturday to do what you want to do. I'm sure there's sports in America that kick in later in the day. But, yeah, traditionally it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So tomorrow we're seeing, in fact, I could probably get a fixture sheet for you where we can go down and have a look. Let's go down. So tomorrow, we've got Brentford versus Arsenal today. Tomorrow morning, early, we've got Man United Leeds. Now that starts at, I think it's like 7:30 in the morning, Eastern time. It's early. There is an early game for us on a Saturday. I mean, you got to remember, for us, it's 12:30, it's lunchtime. Manchester United versus Leeds. Those two clubs hate each other. There's a fierce rivalry. And this, I believe, is the first time they're playing each other with fans. So it's going to be vocal. It's going to be passionate. This will be vocal and passionate because this is Brentford's return to the Premier League. So, first time in the Premier League. This means everything to their fans. So this is going to be passionate tonight, but it's going to be passionate tomorrow between Man United and Leeds. Then that 3 o'clock time slot tomorrow, we've got Brighton versus Burnley. We've got Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. We've got Everton versus Southampton, Leicester versus Wolves, and we've got Watford versus Aston Villa. So, and in fact, we're just seeing a look at the ground. The Brentford ground. So for the first time, getting a chance to have a look. There's quite a few empty seats at the moment. How many people can it hold? Let's have a look. Brentford Stadium. So Brentford Stadium, Brentford Community Stadium. Let's have a look. Our new home. 360 look around, blah blah blah. So it's 17,250. It's really quite small. So it only holds 17,250. I mean, I would imagine that, if Brentford can stay in the Premier League, that's something they're going to look to try and grow. To put that into perspective, they've got 17,000. Manchester United have got about 75. I think Tottenham have got about 60 odd. So this kind of gives you an idea of how big Brentford are in relation to Manchester United, in relation to Chelsea, and so on. So 17,000, that's got to be probably the smallest stadium in the Premier League, and that's where we are tonight. Tor Paul says the lineups are out. Right, let me jump over to OneFootball. That'll probably be the quickest. I really should have somewhere on screen that I can put the lineups, to be honest. Maybe that's something that we'll have to work on. But Brentford versus Arsenal. Let's have a look at the lineups. Okay, so yeah, we've got. I must admit, it's the lineup I was expecting for Brentford. They've got Ivan Toney and Norgaard and everyone that you would expect to see. In regards to Arsenal, they've got Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Pepe. Doesn't look like Saka is starting for them, actually, which is a real shame. I was really looking forward to seeing Saka. Balogun up front for Arsenal. Martinelli, Smith Rowe and Pepe. Big season for Pepe. In midfield, we've got Xhaka and Lokona. So that'll be very interesting to see. Lokona, new signing for them. Very interested to see him. I must say, this is a team that doesn't really strike fear into me looking at this. I mean, Smith Rowe's a good player. Pepe's a great player. But just didn't really click last season. So, yeah, we'll have to see if they can get off to a flyer or not. The South Stand at Spurs can hold 17,500. Well, there we go. Anna saying that just one stand at Tottenham can hold the same as all of Brentford Stadium. Just to really put it into perspective of how small Brentford are. I mean, they're on the rise, clearly. They're in the Premier League and growing. But I think if you want to support an underdog this season, if you're still looking for a team, say you're in America and you're looking for a team to support, you're looking like for someone that you really want to get behind, Brentford's not a bad shout. The only thing I would say with Brentford is eventually I think they could go back down. At some point they'll get relegated. I don't think this year, but next year, the year after. I don't know how long Brentford are going to be able to stay around. Who knows? They might be able to stick around for the next 20 years. Who knows? But this is why today is so exciting, because this is the first chance we're going to see them in the Premier League. Are they of the required standard? Can they, they had a good season, really good season last year. And can that translate to the Premier League? They haven't really gone out and bought a load of players. Neither side. There's not really any big new players. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see this person. I can't wait to see that person. I don't really feel that about this game. The one person that I'm most excited to see is Toney for Brentford. Their striker scored 33 goals last season, I think it was. Roughly around that ballpark. I'm excited to see him because I want to know, can he hit the ground running? Can he open his account today? Can he get some goals today? I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing if he can do it in the Premier League. So I'm looking at Brentford. I'm looking at Toney. In regards to Arsenal, I suppose I'm looking to see, what's the philosophy? What is it they're trying to do this year? Are they going to be patient? Are they going to be a bit gung-ho? Knowing Arteta, he tends to be very defensively minded. I think Arsenal last season had the third best defence in the league. They're a hard team to score past, Arsenal. So what I'm looking at from Arsenal is I'm looking for development with their attacking. Like, there's every chance this is 0-0. There is every chance this is 0-0. That might disappoint people, like the season opener being 0-0. But I just think that Arsenal are going to be hard to score past. Brentford might have a few nerves. I've got a few question marks around Arsenal's attacking threat. That's been where they've lacked. So if Brentford can keep it quite tight at the back, not give anything silly away, then there might be a lack of goals in this one. Both teams could just shut each other down. So 0-0, 1-1, something along those lines. I think those are the sort of scores that I'm looking at. I'm not expecting if Brentford win this 3-0, we've got a story, right? We've got a big story if Brentford can do that. If Arsenal can go on to win this 3-0, there's a story, because that would suggest that Arsenal have found a rhythm. It would suggest that Arsenal are going to do a few things this season. Obviously, a 3-0 win against Brentford, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Like, we don't know. Brentford are the unknown entity. So it could just be that Brentford are going to be shocking this year. So this is why it's so important. This is what we're watching out for. It's a really intriguing game. If this was tomorrow at 3 o'clock, this is a match I would definitely have an eye on. Definitely I'd be keeping an eye on this. I mean, you want to keep an eye on all of the games, but I'd definitely be keeping an eye on this one because, I've definitely got a soft spot for Brentford. I really hope they do well. Arsenal's last 3 opening days have finished 4-3, says MK Gooner. Wow, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Can't wait for the Premier League, and are you excited for Rampage? I'm looking forward to Rampage, yeah. Probably more excited for the Premier League return, to be honest. And we're not that far away. We're not that far away at all. How long have we got? 24 minutes. 24 minutes. Friday night football. This is going to mean so much to the community of Brentford as well. the first time in 74 years. 74 years, apparently. There's an interview here with a Brentford fan saying it's been a long time coming. This is the story today. I'm so pleased that Brentford get to start the Premier League season. We've got Gary Neville, former England, former Manchester United defender, just going around at the moment, just interviewing some of the fans outside the ground. And he's just talking to fans that have... So, he's just talking to some of the fans, and they're just saying, like, how big today is. 74 years since they've been in the very top league. And it's been... I remember not that long ago, I think, was it 4 or 5 years ago, they were in, like, League 2. They were, like all the way down the period. You'd have to get promoted again, and then promoted again to get where they are now. He's just asked this woman outside, how many goals is Toney going to score? And she's gone 35. 35 this season, which would make him one of the best strikers in Europe. In the world, let alone Europe, if he scores 35 goals this season. Same heat will beat few. It happens. Hello, Ryan. Hope you are well. A few Anna Smith is 16, 7 foot tall. Boxing score, getting pretty good. Wow, that's amazing, William. Shout out to your nephew. Yeah, this is good, man. This is good. I'm proper excited. You can feel the buzz starting to grow. You can hear the crowd as well. I mean, it's so great to have fans back as well. You can't underestimate how much we've missed them. It's not... I mean, it's across all sports. We do watch wrestling, and the fans were missing a lot in wrestling as well. And having fans back there has massively helped the energy of that show. The energy of this show has been massively, or the energy of football is going to be massively helped as well. Talking about the fact that even though they've not got Premier League experience, very much looking to see what they can do. And as we said, they're trying to talk, but the chanting of the crowd is kind of interrupting things a little. It's good. It's good. Good vibes. Edward said, I know quite a bit about football. Why is a free kick called a free kick? Because you get to kick it for free unchallenged. No one will challenge you. You get to kick that ball. It's a free kick. Like, no one's going to come in and try and tackle you or anything. You've got a free kick. You could go for a shot. You could go for a cross. You could do whatever you want. Not always, of course. You've got indirect and direct free kicks. But, you get a free kick, obviously, after a foul. Gets awarded to you by the referee. Any other questions? Little Brentford. Welcome to the Premier League, where Man United will win, says Farmer's Son. What is she wearing? What are we talking about? Kelly? She looks all right. I will not have anything said against Kelly. She's looking all right. She's looking good. She's looking very... It's called fashion, Anna. Yeah, it's called fashion. Are you doing a fight stream since UFC isn't hosting a fight? I don't. There's no UFC stream because there's no UFC. So it means that we can focus on the Premier League for the next couple of days. So it's, any little things we need to work out, like how to sign into Sky Sports. Done. We can work them out over the weekend. One thing I would like to do is find somewhere to put the teams. Normally I put them in front of the chat box, but I kind of like the chat box to stay as big as possible, really. So I'll have to give that some thought. I love the pink coat that she's wearing. Yeah, a lot of you won't be able to watch, but on Sky Sports... we've got the female host is they don't do it in a studio. They're actually at the ground. They're at the pitch side. So they're standing on the side of the pitch, and we've got the female host, and we've got two ex-footballers just talking about what we can expect. And she's got a nice pink coat. She's got black trousers, trainers. I mean, I think she's done a great job. Right, shout out to her. I think she's done a great job. Here's Ivan Toney. He's played 320 games, scored 125 goals. And can he do it in the Premier League? Joe Willock's move has been completed. So Joe Willock was a midfielder for Arsenal. And he's gone to Newcastle for 20-odd million, I believe it is. That's a big signing for Newcastle. They need something to get excited about. They need something that's going to give them a bit of hope. Because I think Newcastle are going to be in that relegation fight, to be honest. Farmer's son. What does offside mean? Offside. Offside. How do you explain offside? I always... I'm going to have to use the same thing that I used during the Euros to explain offside. So, in regards to offside, we are... Let's have a look. Let's go... Coin, euro. There's a coin that they did for 2012 that I love. That's going to massively help. Football. I did download this for the Euros, and then I deleted it, of course, when the Euros finished. But it's the easiest. It's the easiest way that I can find to explain the offside rule. Here we go. I would say the offside rule is one of the hardest things to explain, to be honest. I think the offside rule is something that you have to really watch the game to understand. The offside rule is something that's, as I said, a little bit tricky. Here we go. So... this is a coin that they made for London 2012, and I find it very useful when explaining the offside rule. So this is squares versus triangles, right? And squares are in goal. You can see there's a square in goal, and you can see there's a square as well that's a player that's on the pitch, right? So triangles are trying to attack them. They're trying to go at them. So this triangle here, he's got a choice. He can play the ball to the right, to that triangle, or he can play it to the left, to the other triangle. If he plays the ball to the right, then that triangle is not offside, because he is in line with that square, right? If he plays it to the left, then that triangle is offside, because he's ahead. You've got to have one of the other team in between you and the goal when you receive the ball. It's a really difficult one to understand. But that is it right there, basically. That's why I love this coin, because it explains it better than I can with words. Like, it's as simple as what the coin shows you. Like, you've got to be in line perfectly in line, or just but a little bit behind the last player of the other team when you receive the ball. When the ball is played to you, you must have someone basically in front of you. You can't just be standing there, because think about it. You would stand by their goal the whole game, wouldn't you? You would just stand by their goal and just hope that someone could get the ball to you. If they booted the ball up to you, you're at their goal, you could just tap it in. Yeah, you'd have to get past the goalkeeper, but that wouldn't be too difficult. Just get the ball, and then you'd just be hanging around there. But because of the offside rule, you're not able to do that. It doesn't allow you to do that. Football would look very different if we didn't have the offside rule. So there's always got to be someone of the other team in front of you, basically. You've always got to try and beat at least one person, or at least be in line with them when the ball is played. It's one of those that you will get the more that you actually watch the game. So the more that you watch the game, you'll understand it. It's a difficult one to kind of explain with words. And that's why I love this coin. I love this coin because, like, This is a 50p in the UK. Not anymore. They did it especially for the Olympics in 2012. Each coin, like, one was football, one was swimming, one was whatever. This was the football one. This is the offside rule explained. Pricing has said offside is when you pass to a member of your team who is beyond the last defender of the opposing team going towards the opponent's goal. Correct. Yeah. But it's hard, isn't it? Like, you say those words, and if you know offside, it makes sense. But if you don't, I could understand why it would be confusing. But that's offside. Right, we've got right. Let's get it on, Miss Clown 1. Shout out to you. Mr. Meme said, what do you think about Grealish going to City for 100 million? I think it's a bit much for Jack. It probably is a bit much. The only thing I would say is that the English players are always going to have a bit of a premium put onto them. So I actually don't mind the amount, because I think that he is someone that is, he's got another, how old is he? 25? He's got another 8 years. So if you think that over the next 8 years, someone like Jack Grealish is going to single-handedly be able to help win games, Jack Grealish has shown for Aston Villa that when you've got a side that are defending deep and you really need to try and break through, Jack Grealish is absolutely someone that can pick that lock. Jack Grealish is absolutely someone that can find that moment of magic to get past the defence, create an opening, find a goal. He is someone that has got the ability to beat those stubborn sides with a moment of magic. You can't really put a price on that, because that is where Premier Leagues are won and lost. And that's where, matches are decided. Those kind of games that run the risk of just fizzling out to a draw and you getting frustrated. If you've got Jack Grealish, you've got a fantastic opportunity to break those teams down. And potentially he can do it for the next 8 years. So that is invaluable. So Jack Grealish, you might say, is worth, 70 million, 75 as a fair price. I feel like he's probably quite comparable to, say, Sancho. But I think if you want him, Villa don't have to sell. If you want him, and he's English, and everyone knows Man City have got money, like they've said 100. They've slapped 100 and said it's 100, and they've paid it. I kind of feel it's a bit similar to Maguire. Like, Maguire is, he's not an £80 million defender. Certainly you'd probably look at him and say 60 would be fair. But I think United needed a defender. Leicester know that United needed a defender. Maguire's English. He's got another 8 years or so. It's kind of the same story. Like, I think Maguire was inflated by about 15, 20 million. And I think the same definitely for Grealish. But I would very much say pay the money. You're getting a fantastic player. You're getting someone that can single-handedly win games for you. And, there's not really a price you can put on that. If I was a Man City fan, I wouldn't be upset that we'd spent that money. Because I just think, long term, it's going to come good for you. I heard they're making VAR offside line thicker to try and get rid of the minor decisions, yeah. So the thing with offside is obviously there has to be a line where you're offside or you're not offside, right? And that the line that they draw when they're looking at it is very thin. So if you have like a fingernail past, like, say you're in line with the last defender when the ball is played, you're in line with that last defender. If your fingernail is like over past them or like, the tip of your nose or something, you can be offside for that. Like, it can be really petty. So, yeah, I heard that they were looking at just making the line a little bit thicker, just so that it's not as petty. If you're offside, then at least there was something considerable. Because I agree, that's just silly. You know, at the moment the picture's taken, you've got like a hand or something that's just like, no, come on, this is silly. And I don't think that we should be favouring. I don't think that we should be favouring defenders like that. Like, football is about goals and attacking and excitement. And I understand you don't want to go like totally that way. You've got to give teams a chance to defend. But yeah, I mean, it became silly for me. Do you think Juventus will make a proper bid for Locatelli, or will the deal collapse? I honestly don't know. I don't really follow other leagues because there's just so much to follow in this one. So can't really say, but I know that they were interested. Quite a few teams were interested in Locatelli. I would imagine after his showing at the Euros that he would move, but will they go back with a better offer? I genuinely don't know. Great signing if they get him though. I mean, he was an absolutely brilliant player during the Euros. Really caught the eye. I don't know if he made the official team actually, but he probably should have. He was brilliant. I think it'll be a draw because Arsenal isn't playing their full team, and also Brentford, in my opinion, will do good in the Premier League, says Calvin. Shout out to you, Calvin. Yeah, I think a draw is fair. I think it's a result that, it's maybe not the result people are hoping for. I think people are hoping for something a bit more substantial than a draw. But, yeah, I'd be very much okay with that if I was a Brentford fan. You know, your first game coming into the Premier League and you get a draw against Arsenal, you'd probably take that. Right, so Sky Sports saying, are we about to see something special for these Brentford fans? I mean, it looks like Brentford are there. Like, the stadium is packed. There's a lot of Brentford fans, like, biting their fingernails. It's great, isn't it? It looks like a proper night at the football, this does. It's like, you can see a wide range of ages. There's kids, there's dads, there's grandparents. Like, this is something Brentford fans have been looking forward to for a long time. 74 years they've been waiting for this. 74 years. They are the 50th different team to play in the Premier League. So yeah, you can see it's going to mean a lot to these when the teams walk out. Just imagine there'll be a few tears shed as well when they see the teams. There's a that guy looks like he's crying already. The Field of Dreams baseball game between the Yankees and the White Sox was awesome, says Ryan. Days, I like the pink and black graphics. Yeah, I like this as well. It's kind of Premier League. I would say Premier League colours. Premier League just goes in like greens, and they're kind of like quite bold with their colours actually. So yeah, it's kind of Premier League colours. Could have gone with the green, like the screen behind, but definitely want to use that screen for something. I think we could definitely use it when we're talking about certain players. We could maybe put up like images from games and whatever. I reckon there's stuff we can do here, definitely. But we're going to walk before we run. This is our first Premier League game, and as we start, the singing from the fans. Did you sign the new left back? What? What? Who are we talking about? Wrestling fan man says, "Come on, Brentford." Anna says, "Sing out, Brentford." They are. Look, they got their hands in the air. Here come the teams. Here's Arsenal making their way out onto the pitch. Brentford singing Hey Jude. Oh, it's huge, isn't it? It is huge. It's brilliant. Brentford creating such a fantastic atmosphere. You're gonna be stung by the bees. We're just seeing a shot of the stadium. I mean, as you said, it's 17,000. It's not a big stadium, but it looks fine. It looks great. The River Thames in the background. You can see the River Thames. It is rocking. Who do you think would win the CONCACAF Champions League semi-final? I haven't seen who's in the CONCACAF Champions League. I haven't seen it. Sorry, question was for James. No worries. Is it just Brentford bees? Sounds so posh. Right, here come Brentford. And I mean, I would imagine what they've said to the Brentford team is play the game, don't play the occasion, because this is such a big occasion. It genuinely feels like a cup final. And I was saying this in the video that we did. Every game is going to feel like a cup final for them, but certainly at home, you know, with the support that they're getting, it's going to be so important that Brentford can find a way of just staying cool, calm, relaxed. They're still singing Hey Jude as well at Brentford. Ethan Pinnock, really good player. Looking forward to seeing him. He likes to get forward. So, yeah, quite a lot of attacking threat in here. A real blend of players and different nationalities. 5 players in their midfield. 5 different nationalities. Got Canos of Spain. Onyeka of, I think, is that Nigeria? Toney of England. And I don't think he's never played for England. He did play for Newcastle a little bit, though. But yeah, this is going to be very exciting. They've got pace. They've got attacking threat. Looking forward to seeing what they can do here. Farmer's Son said, I feel nervous. Man United aren't playing until tomorrow. It's going to be good. I'm not sure. I don't think Sancho's going to start. Is he for United? I would doubt he's ready to start. He's probably not trained enough after the Euros. But, and obviously no Rashford. So it'll be interesting to see who United field. So, front line for Arsenal. We've already spoke about it. Pepe, Balogun, and Martinelli. Then just behind we've got Lokona, Xhaka, and Smith-Rowe. And then a defence of Chambers, White, Mari, and Tierney. Now, obviously, Ben White, we saw him a little bit for England. More in the friendlies, actually. But he was part of that Euro England team. And he has made a £50 million transfer to Arsenal. So it is going to be interesting to see how Ben White does. Ben White versus Ivan Toney. That is the battle that I'm looking at. Look at this. The Brentford fans in full voice. This is going to be good. Reminds me a bit of Bournemouth, this stadium. Right, they go down, they take the knee. We do see them take the knee before the game, and a nice round of applause. Arsenal playing, there's Saka. Not starting for Arsenal, he's on the bench. I thought Saka would start, actually. I'm guessing that he's going to be a player that's going to be brought on. But the ball launched towards Brentford. Brentford playing in their home kit, of course, white and red stripes. Arsenal playing in their away kit. And headed clear already. So Arsenal in like a blue-grey colour. Brentford in white and red. Stadium absolutely rocking. It's not grey, is it? It's kind of a weird zigzag kind of purple and blue, something like that. Right, Brett, already Arsenal are getting a corner here. Arsenal with an early corner, looking to whip it in. Ajer is a good defender. He was at Celtic, says Edward. Varane is definitely not playing. He's not been registered in time for Leeds. I mean, in all fairness, he's probably not done enough of pre-season anyway, so even if he had signed in time, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. So, right, we're underway, and corner didn't come to anything for Arsenal. I'm good, James. Hope you are well. Watching this first game of the Premier League, and it's just nice to kind of get up and running and to have a crowd back. Man, it's not until you actually see a crowd and hear a crowd and feel a crowd that you can really appreciate like how much we miss them. Ball bouncing out. It's going to be a throw-in for Brentford around the halfway line. Days, did you pick Palace home shirt as the best because you felt bad predicting they would go down? No, I genuinely liked it, and it was number 1 on that Telegraph thing as well. It catches your eye. It's kind of bold but clean. It's clean. It's bold. It's not just like, I don't know, it just looked really smart. Again, I keep coming back to, would I feel comfortable wearing it like with jeans and going down the pub, and that I think would look really cool. So yeah, Telegraph had it as their favourite shirt, and out of all of them I'd have to agree. But I have to say, I do love the Tottenham home shirt. I've got a soft spot for the Tottenham home shirt. It's just this real plain shirt, but I really like it. It comes across as quite classy, and I don't mind the red sponsor. I think a little bit of colour in there looks all right. I hate the Brentford home shirt though. The Brentford home shirt, as said yesterday, it reminds me Stourbridge, the team that my local team that I support. Their shirts look exactly the same, red and white stripes with like a dodgy sponsor. I think we're sponsored, or we have been sponsored by the local dentist for a long time. So like you go, a bit of a dodgy sponsor, red and white stripes. Like there's no nice details in it. It's just really cheap looking, basic, standard football 1.0 kind of a shirt. And that's what this Brentford shirt reminds me of. It's just really cheap, non-league. There's no thought that's really gone into it. I like that. I don't mind this Arsenal one. I don't mind the Arsenal away. I'm looking at that at the moment. That's kind of cool. So, as we said, no extra time, no penalties. This is the first game. Oof, ball goes through, straight to the defence. Hello to Patrick. Hope you are well. Did you do the fantasy football? I did, yeah. If you go to the community thing, the community tab on the Wrestling Days channel, you will be able to find the code. So, Jansson is the captain for Brentford. He is in their defence. Captain for Arsenal is Xhaka. Ben White clearing it just out. So, the game just settling down. Obviously, we're going to see a battle in the midfield as both teams try to stamp their kind of authority on the game. At the moment, we've got possession. 57% to Arsenal, 43% to Brentford. In fact, I wonder if we could find a way of bringing that in. Might help, mightn't it? One footballer normally very, very good when it comes to like stats for the game. So we can try and bring that. That's something that I'd like to try and do. Yeah, it's definitely a few things that we still need to tweak. As we said, I'd like to try and get like the teams on screen and all that kind of stuff. But when we were doing the Euros, we had the live stats, and I think that worked well. Let's have a look. There's your brand out dentists sponsor the Stourbridge kit. Yeah, they have done for a long time. And I've got so many of their shirts. I've found, actually, I don't even know, I probably wouldn't be able to put my hands on it right now, but I found a program for Stourbridge. Would I be able to put my hands on it? Maybe. It's probably over there with, like, the books and whatever. But from 2000, when I went to a game 21 years ago. And I'm only 21. Ball bouncing around. Nice Arsenal. Passing it back to the goalkeeper. So just keep in possession for a second. Right, we definitely don't want that. Nice. So, yeah, a little bit of trouble here. Arsenal trying to clear their lines. Little bit of frustration as they were playing it around in the back, and Brentford closing them down, doing a really good job of closing down Arsenal, making life a little bit difficult. There we go. This is what we wanted. Good header. Right, let's try and sort this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that could work. Edward Days, will you ever be 22? I don't know, but it's your birthday today, isn't it, Austin? I heard. Someone told me that it's Austin's birthday today. So, happy birthday. Happy 10th birthday to Austin316. Shout out to Austin. Nice, good clearance by the goalkeeper. By Arsenal on the ball in the midfield, trying to break forward. Xhaka. Playing it out. Pepe. Smith Rowe. Lovely to the back post, but excellent by the goalkeeper. Brentford goalie having to come out and try and... Raya trying to come out and claim that. I mean, Brentford are looking all right at the moment. They're definitely holding their own. It feels good to be 10. Yeah, happy birthday, dude. I bet you didn't know that I knew, did you? But, yeah, I got told earlier, so happy birthday. Right, Arsenal on the ball, and we're in Arsenal's half. Amazingly, we're almost 9 minutes into this. At the moment, we're seeing Arsenal just enjoying a little bit more of the ball. No shots on target for Brentford so far. We have seen one shot by Arsenal, but nothing to it. They won a corner right at the start of the game as well. This thing just kind of settling down at the moment. Yeah, Brentford holding their own at the moment. We're looking all right. No clean-cut chances, though, for either side. They'll come. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Brilliant crowd, though. I love the fans there are just having a great time. Singing Hey Jude as the teams were coming out, and for the first few minutes as well. Ball headed back by Brentford's defender. I'm going to go to the Watford-Villa game. That should be good. That'll be very good. That'll be very interesting. Kind of new-look Aston Villa. An Aston Villa without Jack Grealish. An Aston Villa with Danny Ings. An Aston Villa with Buendia from Norwich as well. An Aston Villa that, as I said in my prediction video, an Aston Villa that's got to step up. You know, here we go. Here's Brentford. This is a good opportunity. Ball played forwards. Is that Ivan Toney? Nice looking, trying to dink it across. It gets into the middle of the penalty area, loops up, and over the goal. That was okay. The ball, they were able to kind of break forward. Getting a few numbers in there. There was 3 players in the middle for Brentford to try and find. They do find one. Manages to get a header off. Onyeka heading it, but it loops up and onto the top of the goal. I'm going to go to a League 2 game tomorrow when you can get tickets. Why not? Hey, listen. I went many times to Stourbridge. Oh, here's Brentford breaking through. Getting a shot. Oh, hitting that. Was that? I think that came off the post, That was all right. Was it onside? Are we all good? Yeah, he's well onside. Well onside. Yeah, he did well. That was all right by Brentford. Brentford just starting to knock on the door now. Just starting to knock on the door. Yeah, I went many times to see Stourbridge and they're non-league. So, but that never bothered me in the slightest. I mean, I lived in Stourbridge for, I think it was like 21 years. Might have been 23 years. It was around that kind of ballpark. And I went many times. And I still keep an eye out. I mean, I will try and get, I might try and get their kit for this season to wear during these kind of streams, to be honest. Might as well show support to my local. That way, I can support Stourbridge. I can remain neutral as possible. I am a Man United fan. But as neutral as possible. And that might not be the worst idea. Dean Smith of Aston Villa is in the stands on a scouting mission. So, in a couple of weeks, Villa are playing against Brentford. So, kind of interesting to see that, Villa taking this serious. Just because Brentford are a team that's just come up. And you might think of all the teams, this is one that you wouldn't have to worry about as much as like a Liverpool, Man United. It's interesting to see Dean Smith there. Aston Villa manager. Right, here we go. We're seeing Arsenal starting to break forward. Lovely through ball. Played back and well dealt with by Brentford. So there was some lovely link-up play there. Balogun was trying to get on the end of it again, but Brentford able to cut it out. So it's going to be another corner to Arsenal right now. Arsenal looking to whip it in. We're only at the 14-minute mark. It's been a very interesting game. 63% possession by Arsenal. Means they've had the ball 63% of the time. Alf said, I will take credit for that one. Tall Paul says, always support your local team. They need you more than ever after these past 18 months. That's true. That's really true. Yeah. Do you know what? You might have actually just inspired me with those words to order the shirt tonight. I haven't even seen this season's Stourbridge shirt, so I'll have to have a look. I've got so many of them from, through the years. Where the first sponsor I remember seeing Stout, because I got into football quite late. I got into football when I was in secondary school. And I remember I went to Stourbridge because I wanted to watch some live football. It's my town. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, well, I'll go on Saturday. I'll go watch Stourbridge play. So I went down and I really enjoyed it. You got a little pub kind of club area where you can just go in, clubhouse, and have a beer before the game. They've got a little window that you can go to and get some chips or a burger or something from. They had a little club shop, but they're not big enough to have someone like there all the time. So when I first walked in, like there was no one behind the counter, so I had to go back at like half time, and there was someone there then. And it was just had a really nice kind of local friendly kind of atmosphere to it. So I just fell in love with the club, to be honest. And I just used to go like when I could. Ball played across. Arsenal with the shot, but cleared by Brentford. And it's been brilliant. I mean, I've seen them play the first round of the FA Cup against Plymouth Argyle and win, which was massive. It was huge. So I do love them. But I remember our first sponsor. I was so impressed. When I went down the first time, and our sponsor was Carlsberg. It's like, how did we get Carlsberg as a sponsor? So I was really impressed. I was like, wow, why would Carlsberg sponsor like Stourbridge? Who's going to see this? But it works, doesn't it? So here I am all these years mentioning them. Still talking about it. Still got that shirt as well that's got Carlsberg written on it. Arsenal trying to take a shot. Pepe. Big season this for Pepe. Big season. Big season for a lot of these Arsenal players that didn't quite do it before last season. Last season, very disappointing for Arsenal. Finished, I think it was 8th. And as we said, for them, they really look to be a top 4 side. Hopefully, we'll get some Arsenal fans that join us. In fact, I know we've got a couple in the chat already that can talk about their season, what they're looking for, what kind of key players, what they think of the Ben White signing, all that kind of stuff. As I said, hopefully, we can hear from some Brentford fans, we can hear from some Arsenal fans. I think that'd be really, really interesting. My local team, Dagenham and Redbridge, only have a small club shop. I don't believe you can order online. Oh, do you know what? I've never ordered a Stourbridge shirt from online, but I naturally now presume you can. You must be able to. Surely. Do you know what I mean? Like, you buy it, surely. I mean, if you have to go, it's not a problem. I don't go back to Stourbridge all that much. I only go like once a year. But it wouldn't be a problem. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes away from where I am right now. And I love going back, of course I do. It's my, I still consider it my home. Right, almost approaching the 20-minute mark. We're almost at the halfway point here of this first half. We're almost a quarter of the way through the game. So it's been really interesting. We've seen Brentford get a little bit of a spell where they had a couple of chances, but it's it's a battle, and we thought it would be a battle. So far, both sides have had 2 shots. Only Arsenal have had 1 shot on target. That was straight at the keeper right at the start of the game. 71% or 72% is what's showing on screen at the moment. Here we go, Brentford. Playing it into the centre, ball bouncing around. Brentford have been able to get on the ball. It's opportunity here, trying to pull it back, but well defended by Arsenal. So those kind of little moments, so important for Brentford. But there was a little bit of opportunity there. There was definitely half a chance. I think if you're going to be on the ball in the opposition's penalty area, you really do need to make something of that. Arsenal on the ball again, just passing it around. The possession stats are wild. I thought Brentford were a possession-based team, said Cold Stolen. They are. I mean, the thing is, they are. It's difficult for them to enjoy possession against Arsenal. I think Arsenal very much want the ball as well. I don't think Arsenal are going to be quite happy to allow Brentford to play their game, and their game is a possession-based game. So Arsenal are trying to impose themselves, and they're good enough to impose themselves, of course, on Brentford, not allow them to get into any kind of rhythm, not allow them to enjoy plenty of the ball. So there's some good stuff by Arsenal here. You know, they've come and they're trying to, you know, impose themselves on this game, not be dictated to, and you know, Brentford haven't been able to do that. And, you know, as a result, Brentford have only had a couple of shots, none of them on target. But they've got a corner here. It's a corner for Brentford. Ball whipped into the centre, but cleared by Arsenal, headed away. And Brentford get the ball, play it back to their goalkeeper, Raya. I think if you've got a fantasy team, this is a really good game to be watching. Oh, Brentford on the ball in the penalty area, played back. Just couldn't get a head on it. There was a Brentford player coming in, but he couldn't get his head on it. Lovely shot. Oh, and it's in! It's in for Brentford! Brentford have scored! And the stadium goes wild! Canos! Canos can! Sergi Canos for Brentford. So the ball was whipped in. Oh, it's a massive moment for Brentford. It's a massive moment. 70-odd years they've waited. They didn't know what to expect. The ball comes back. Canos, look at that shot. Beautiful goal by Canos. So Arsenal trying to clear, try to boot it away. Canos gets the ball. It's low. It's near post. It's driven hard, and it's 1-0 to Brentford on their return to the Premier League. It's a massive moment. It's a massive moment for the fans as well. I mean, if you're Brentford, you've got every right to believe that you're going to get stuffed, right? You've got no right to really be in this league. 70-odd years you've been away, but you're back. And you've scored against Arsenal at home. Massive moment for the fans. I'd imagine there's fans in tears. Honestly, there's gonna be fans that will not have seen this or believed that this would have happened in their lifetime. So Canos, their midfielder. Bad left hook. Shout out to you. Appreciate it, man. Look at this. Oh, I can't believe it. So excited for them. Brentford in dreamland. Yes. Immense. It is immense. It is immense. Here come Brentford again. I tell you what, the fans are believing, aren't they? The fans are absolutely in dreamland. You're right. So, Canos with the goal. I don't know if we can find information as to who helped get the assist. Because obviously, Premier League-wise. So, Premier League-wise, if you've got any Arsenal defenders, they're not going to get clean sheet points now. It's Pinnock. Pinnock, who we said likes to get forward, very attack-minded, and he's actually come in with the assist. So, at the moment, if you had Pinnock in your dream team, you're currently going to get points for a clean sheet, and you're going to get points for an assist. If you had Canos in your dream team, you're currently getting points for him scoring the goal. So these are the players that you would want to have had in your dream team at the moment. You would want Canos, you would want Pinnock, you wouldn't want any Arsenal defenders playing, because they've just conceded to Brentford. Arsenal need to get Saka on now. Cheese Whiz, shout out to you. You remind me of Legend Killer. Yeah, there's Legend Killer says, I'm watching the football. Legend Killer. I'm starting to think you're a bot. I'm starting to think that you just literally live... You're a bot that just literally is living my life. We're the same, mate. You and me, we're the same. Callum Chambers manages to avoid the ball going out, boots it, clears it. It only goes to a Brentford player that plays it back in. It falls to Canos, who drives it low, hard, into that bottom corner. It's a goal for Brentford. Their fans are in dreamland, and it gives us plenty to get our teeth into. There wasn't really much up until that point. I mean, what I want to do is I want to put Pinnock. I'd like to get into the habit of putting whoever got the assist in brackets, because I do have very much in mind a fact that people are playing that fantasy game and will want to know who got the assist. So, yeah, I think this could be a good little habit to get into. So, if you are playing the fantasy game, you can see who the goal scorer was and who got the assist in brackets as well. So, there we go. Canos with the goal, Pinnock with the assist. And we'll do that for all the live games. And we're doing all the live games. We're going to be doing all of them. We're here tomorrow. It's going to be a bit of trial and error. There's definitely things that I want to tweak and change. I need to find a better place to put the stats, maybe. Or certainly find a way of making them bigger. Need to... well, we might be able to do that now, actually. If we lose... Maybe if we lose the jewels at the bottom, we might be able to find a way of then just making it bigger. Sacrificing that one stat, I don't think, is the end of the world. Just, you know, give us a good read as to possession and shots, and I think that's kind of cool. So if we lose this, we might be able to make it bigger. But yeah, I'd like to get like the team news up as well. So see what I mean? That's better. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Love it. Right, here's Brentford again, trying to get the ball through. Shot and just goes over. Is that Canos again? Tell you what, there might be a few people right now jumping onto their fantasy teams, getting Canos in. If you can do that against Arsenal, you can do that against most teams in this league. You have to remember, though, some of this is going to be right place, right time. So I would wait, just because he's managed to get a goal. Little tribute. So all the Brentford fans are applauding. It says hashtag remembering Robert. So there's a guy that was behind this that helped kind of this vision come to reality. And apparently he passed away because of a heart attack. And they're all just applauding right now. Hashtag remembering Robert. There must have been some symbolism of the 28th minute as to why they're doing that. It's lovely. It's like a minute of applause. Brentford fans are fantastic. I don't know if it's just because we've gone so long without fans in general, but they're making such noise. They're so up for this. People need to remember Arsenal finished 8th last season and have loads of kids on the pitch. They're not exactly a giant anymore. Well, no, true. I mean, still you would say they should be favourites against Brentford. They've still got, they've just spent 50 million on Ben White in defence. So, here we go. Look, they're coming again. Brentford just slightly tripping over the ball. Oh, found a way through. Oh, and he's put it wide. That was it was a chance that he made really difficult for himself. Mbeumo, actually, their other striker to Ivan Toney. Mbeumo's actually had a couple of chances. This one, I mean, that was great. Look at that. They are pressing. They're creating more chances. We're not seeing Arsenal getting chance after chance after chance. Brentford showing that they are here to play ball and get results. I mean, we haven't seen them sitting back and just defending. They are a proper team. Oh, Arsenal! Oh, excellent. Arsenal on the ball, in and around that penalty area. And trying to turn and get a shot off, but wasn't able to. Look at that. Just couldn't quite turn, could he, Bellingham? Bellingham trying to swivel and turn, and it's just a touch from the Brentford player took the ball away. But scenes on this Friday night football. Days missed my Eva Rock It comment. I didn't see it, no. Arsenal's bench is pretty bad, says Cold Stolen. Looking forward to see Saka. Looking forward to seeing Saka come on. I think he'll get a really nice reception like Brentford. Brentford fans seem lovely. Like, they don't seem to be, like, chanting and... Oh, here we go. Brentford trying to break through just on the edge of the penalty area. They had an opportunity. First touches, second touches, couple of times in those key areas for Brentford. Not what you would want to see. Couple of times the ball just getting caught under their feet and they can't, like, take it in their stride. If he had been able to take that ball first time, kind of drive forward, could have got, like, one-on-one with the keeper there, but just kind of struggling with the ball. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't think it's quality. I think they've definitely got quality, but there could be just a little bit of nerves there. It's just a couple of times where they've got into that final third and the ball's just got stuck under their feet. They're just showing that Brentford have had 5 chances, Arsenal 3. In fact, we've got that. Both teams 1 shot on target each. And the crowd are weighing as the ball is being played around. What a start to Arsenal. It's all or nothing. A flag on the pitch, is there? I didn't see. Right, goes back to the Brentford goalkeeper that launches it forward, headed out by the Arsenal defence. Here come Arsenal now. Let's see what Arsenal can do. Martinelli over to Pepe, I think, who takes a shot, goes well wide. Well wide. This is going to be a little bit frustrating, this, for Arteta. A little bit frustrating. I think we're lacking with Martinelli and Pepe just not getting into the game. We're not seeing them enough. We're seeing, I've seen a bit of Bellingham. He's had the ball a little bit in and around Brentford's penalty box, but we're not seeing those 2 wide players of Pepe and Martinelli getting on the ball anywhere near enough. At the moment, we're seeing some wonderful, wonderful stuff from Brentford. Canos in particular, obviously the goal scorer, but really getting stuck in the midfield as well. Not just because of the goal, I would say. He's having a big impact, kind of winning the battles in the midfield, and kind of think that he's got to be in the running for man of the match. Right, here we go. Numbers back, though. Look at this. We've got a back 5 here for Brentford. Lovely work there by Pepe, but dispossessed. Fast feet, and Brentford able to get the ball off him. Yeah, he is going to be a massive player for Arsenal in this game without Aubameyang, without Lacazette. Pepe's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. And as we said, he's just struggling to get into this game. Right, we've got free kick. Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, launching it forward. We're into Arsenal's half. Possession stats are improving for Brentford. Yeah, completely right. Well spotted. I mean, at one point, Arsenal were like 70-odd%, weren't they? So, possession stats are coming up for Brentford. We are just going through a little spell at the moment. We're only 10 minutes till half-time, but we are just going through a little spell right now where we're seeing Arsenal enjoying a bit more of the ball, though. I kind of feel like for the past 10 minutes, Brentford had a really, really good spell.
Feels now like we're starting to see Arsenal on the ball a little bit more. I mean, you've got to think if it stays at 1-0, we're going to have a big finale to this game. I would imagine Arsenal are going to be really trying to stick it to Brentford in those final stages of the match. I think Brentford have done a really good job, though, of not just sitting back after the goal. Like, they've definitely been looking for that second one. Right now, they're just having to defend. They're kind of playing a 5-3-2 at the moment. 5-3-2, 5-2-3. It's kind of a fluid formation, but five along the back. But they've managed to drive Arsenal all the way back into their own half. The ball is now back with Leno, and Brentford have actually won the ball back in and around the penalty area, and there was some quick little play. It was a nice idea, but there was no one there. Just tried to side foot it into space, Brentford, but there was no player there. But it was a nice idea. Really like what I'm seeing from Canos. Really like what I'm seeing from Onyeka in the midfield for Brentford. Not much that I'm seeing that's impressing from Arsenal, in all fairness. Dave in real life, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Cold Stolen said Arsenal fans are in meltdown on Twitter. I bet they are. I bet they are. This is not the start of the season they were hoping to see. Shot by Bellingham, and it whistles wide and high. And as it stands, Brentford will go top of the Premier League. Absolutely. Mainly because they are on course to win the only game that's happened so far. But still, I should imagine there'll be a few smiles over that if it stays this way. Gareth Southgate, the England manager, is in the stands at Brentford. So Southgate there. And the ball rolls out. I mean, Southgate goes to quite a few games. There's Saka. Yeah, they're talking about the reception that Saka had at Tottenham. I never saw that. Pray hard for the runners. Arsenal fans are always on meltdown on Twitter, says Tall Paul. Anna said Southgate in the stands. He is. And I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder what he's seeing. I don't think there's going to be much that's going to impress him from what we're seeing from Arsenal, to be honest. I don't think Ben White's really stood out. Why do people think Arsenal can be contenders to win the league? I mean, I can't remember where I put them in my prediction, but I had them around 9th, 10th, something along those lines. I mean, I think Arsenal have really fallen away. I know I've had some Arsenal fans got in touch and said, like, we need Aubameyang to be, back to his best. And absolutely, ball whipped in by Brentford, cleared away. If Aubameyang is going to, get his shooting boots on and it's going to click for Arsenal, then, they could have a good season. It's the first game of the season. If they was to go on and lose this, it's not the end of the world. It's a big, important season for Arsenal, and they are missing key players today. But you would still expect them to beat Brentford. But every game for Brentford is a cup final. Every game is cup final. Every game is going to be huge for them. And, this is their first game in the Premier League. Top division for 70-odd years. They know what it means. The fans are so passionate, so vocal. I tell you, so far, this is a great advert for the Premier League. It's a great advert. There's drama. We're 40 minutes in. There's been a Brentford goal. I think the fans singing "Hey Jude" was great. The fans come across as really respectful. There was obviously that lovely moment where they were remembering that guy on the 28th minute. But we're seeing, Arsenal known around the world. If you was to mention Arsenal to even non-football fans, I'm sure they will have heard of them. And to see Brentford, who haven't been in the top division for 70-odd years, beating Arsenal 1-0 as we're just minutes away from half-time. I kind of feel like this is a really good advert for the Premier League. Like, anything can happen. Ball goes up, cleared by the Brentford goalkeeper. The Arsenal fans watch-along will be fun if this continues. I would expect a full meltdown. I want them to get relegated and go to the Championship, get ready and come back. Who? Arsenal? Have Arsenal ever been out of top flight? Arsenal top division record. Let's have a look. I've got a feeling Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing fact. At the end of the 2019-2020 season, the club's first team, Arsenal, have spent 104 seasons in the top division, 13 in the second. The worst league finish is 10th in the second division. So the worst Arsenal have ever done, ever, was finishing 10th in the second division, the division below, and that was in 1896. Like, Arsenal have spent 104 seasons in the top division. It's amazing. They were last relegated in 1950. They were promoted in 1954. So that means that Arsenal have been in the top league since 1954. So, when you're talking about like top league, Premier League teams, Arsenal are absolutely up there. They've been in the top division since the 50s. They've been one of those 20 teams since the 50s. So to see them losing 1-0 to Brentford, who haven't been up for 70-odd years, that's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing. James Chadwick, shout out to you. Hope you are well. James, big, passionate Man United fan. I'll get to your comment in a sec, bud. We're just watching Brentford on the ball in Arsenal's penalty area. A few quick passes. Arsenal have got numbers back. Ball dinked in, back post, and Brentford trying to get a foot on it. So, yeah, just couldn't quite get there, could he? Was that Janelt? But just couldn't. Yeah, it was nowhere near it. James Chadwick said, "Did you hear about the GB relay runner CJ Ajer has reportedly failed a doping test? We could have a silver taken away." I did, actually. I did hear, yeah. I tried to keep up with, like, the BBC website. Everyone knows it's been well documented during the Olympic streams that I do go onto the BBC website quite a bit. It's kind of my default homepage. So I do go on there to check news all the time. So as soon as I wake up, I check it. As soon as I'm falling asleep, it's one of the last things I go on to. And, yeah, I saw it on there. So, I mean, look, if he's cheated, it's really not like us to have people that do that. If he's cheated, they deserve it to be taken away. But hopefully it turns out that he hasn't, of course. But, yeah, if we lose it, then I would say good. Because that's absolutely not how I would want to see GB win medals. And if that's one that we've won by cheating, take it away. I mean, to be honest, I can't recall the last time that a medal winner of GB was accused of such a thing. I'd really have to look back into the history to find the last time that we were accused of, like, one of our Olympians, like, taking drugs that had won a medal. Arsenal in and around the Brentford penalty area, trying to get a shot off. Smith Rowe been very quiet as well. I would say he's been a little more active along with Bellingham. I feel like I've seen a little bit of Smith Rowe. I've seen a little bit of Bellingham. I have not seen really much Martinelli. Pepe's been on the ball, but just hasn't been able to get past the Brentford defence. So it's been interesting, very, very interesting first half. Agree. No time for cheats. Absolutely. Why is Arsenal considered bad by so many? I don't know that they're considered bad. I just think that that's the end of the half as well. It's a great first half for Brentford. I don't think they're considered bad. I think they're just considered to be not where they need to be, you know. Arsenal are a team that have won the Premier League before. They are a team that you would expect them to be either in the top 4, or if they're not in the top 4, they're 5th, right? Last season they finished, I think, 8th. Like, the thing you need to know about Arsenal, they had a manager called Arsene Wenger who had been their manager for like 20 odd years. He'd won them the league a few times, but he always got them in the top 4. Arsenal fans were very frustrated because they wanted to win the league and they just never seemed to be close. They were always in the top 4, and finishing in the top 4 of the league is really important because you get Champions League football. And Champions League football is so important. It brings so much money. And also, if you want the best players in the world, they're going to come to you if you've got Champions League football. If you don't have Champions League football, they're not going to come to you. The only way you get that, or, well, one of the ways you get it, the main way you get it is by finishing in the top 4. So you need to finish in the top 4 at the end of the season. So for Arsenal, they need to be in the top 4. If they're not top 4, they need to be 5th. They need to be close. They need to have something to build on. Last season, they were 8th. Last season, they were miles away from the top 4. This is a real falling from grace for Arsenal. They're struggling. They're really struggling. Like, a lot of Arsenal fans were disappointed with Arsene Wenger when he was getting them top 4, but they weren't pushing for the league. It's one of them, isn't it? You always want more. You always want your team to be winning the league. Of course you do. That's what you want. So when they're just finishing in the top 4 and not winning the league, a lot of Arsenal fans were frustrated. They would take that right now. They would snatch your hand off for top 4 right now, because right now you've got to look at Arsenal and say they're probably going to finish 8th again. They're probably a team now that have gone from being top 4 to a team now that are just going to consistently finish 8th, 9th, 10th, mid-table. Like, they're Aston Villa now. They're Everton. They're West Ham. They're one of those teams now. So this is a big season for them. This is a big season for their manager. It's not that they're bad. Arsenal aren't going to be in a fight of relegation. I don't expect Arsenal to be battling to stay in the league. Like, I really don't expect that. So it's not that they're bad. It's just they're not as good as they used to be. And I think that's hard for Arsenal fans to accept. And they have accepted it. I think they realise they're nowhere near where they used to be. And I think it's going to be a long road for them. They really need a number 10. They really need someone that can get the ball and make something happen. Pepe should be able to do that. He's a great player. Cost a lot of money. Wasn't he like 70-odd million? I mean, Pepe, who is struggling to get past the Brentford defenders in this first half, 70 million. They've just spent 50 million on Ben White, who I really rate, and I think is a very, very good defender. But it's not like they're not spending money. They are spending money. They could probably do with spending more, and I think they really could do with a number 10. You could argue they could do with a world-class striker as well, like a world-class number 9. Aubameyang, Lacazette, they're both very good players, but they're very inconsistent players, and then neither of them are playing today. They're Arsenal's kind of attacking threat, really. Aubameyang, I think, last season scored about 15 goals. Lacazette, I think, about the same. So a lot of Arsenal's goals come from Aubameyang and Lacazette. But neither of them are playing. Both of them are not well at the moment. I actually don't know why, but neither of them are well at the moment. So, without them on the pitch, we're seeing some players like Bellingham, Martinelli. We're seeing some players that maybe we wouldn't be seeing. Obviously, no Saka. I'm surprised. Saka's the kind of player that, is great for this kind of a game. Like, give him the ball, let him run at this Brentford defence. See what Saka can do. He's excellent at dribbling. We saw what he did in the Euros. I mean, Saka was one of England's best players. So, I've got to think he's going to make an appearance quite early in the second half. I think there's a good chance that we will see Saka. But it's clear that, there's a certain way that Arteta wants to play. And, he's tried it. It's not worked in that first half. They've lost the first half 1-0. Big second half coming up. Arsenal need a new manager. Arteta couldn't get a tune out of Willock. Steve Bruce got a tune out of Willock at Newcastle. They're just saying, Arsenal needed to get tighter with Brentford. There was just too much space, and that is true, actually. I mean, when Canos gets the ball, there's no one around. There's no one on him. He's completely unmarked. And it just gives him time to cut on the inside and fire that low shot into the corner and send the Brentford fans into absolute dream world. Your trophy room is empty. That there's plans to turn it into a storeroom. Dave throwing a bit of shade towards Anna. Mouldy Spoon said, I think Arsenal will be in the Europa League places when they get Laka, Aubameyang, Partey, Lokona, Pepe, Saka, all available. They will be fine. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there, isn't there? You're absolutely right. They don't have Partey playing today. They don't have Lacazette. They don't have Aubameyang. I mean, Partey was an expensive signing that's missing. The only thing I would say is that they did have these players last season and they still finished 8th. So I think there is still concern that we haven't really seen a signing that's going to take Arsenal to the next level. That for me is what's missing. Is there seems to be like a missing player. I think it's the number 10. Someone that can really link all of this together. Someone that can like pull the strings. I think they're missing that. But who that player is, it's hard to say. They've got Smith Rowe playing there at the moment. I just don't think it's enough. Who's been the worst player in the game? I think you could make an argument that the worst player is Pepe. I think Pepe is the creative force that Arsenal have got out there. He is the player that needs to be pulling the strings. Pepe should be running the show for Arsenal. He's a great player on the right wing. He's someone that should be wanting the ball, beating Brentford, causing problems, playing passes, bringing other people in, setting up goal opportunities. And when he's had the ball, and he hasn't had the ball all that much, but when he's had the ball, he's not been able to find other Arsenal players. There's been a couple of examples where he can't even get past the Brentford defence. So I kind of feel that Pepe is really underwhelming in that first half. I think for a player that, they haven't got Aubameyang, they haven't got Lacazette. I think Arsenal really are looking to Pepe to, provide some magic. He's not doing it. I'd be very interested. I wouldn't say take him off, because he can always provide a moment of magic. But I think if you had Saka there, I really do think that Saka would be causing some big problems for Brentford. So I would not be surprised to see Saka come on early. Not sure who he's going to take off or how he's going to move it around. Martinelli might come off. We could see Saka coming on there on the left-hand side. He's a very versatile player, Saka. He can play quite a few different positions, but maybe they'll look to have Saka down the left and Pepe down the right and see if Pepe can have a better half in this second half. But you can see the stats. We've got Arsenal with 63%. We've got Brentford with 37. 7 shots to Arsenal, 5 to Brentford, but both with 1 shot on target. Arsenal are just not creating great opportunities. It's not as if I could watch now like a highlight reel of great Arsenal chances. There just weren't any. It feels like the attack is very separated to the defence. And attacking-wise, the threat is just being easily dealt with by this Brentford defence. Mouldy Spoon said a fully fit Arsenal could be Leno, Bellerin, Gabriel, White, Tierney, Lokona, Partey, Smith Rowe, Pepe, Aubameyang, Saka, White, Lokona will help them big time. Ledge Killer, shout you are well. Chalmers, how you doing? Chalmers said that was a fun first half. Yeah, we were saying it was a really good advert for the Premier League. Really good advert. If it's not something that people watch that much, I think after understanding the game a little more, I think that's definitely something that people would have been impressed by. You know, the fact that Brentford haven't been in the top flight for 70 odd years, the fact that Arsenal have been in the top flight since 1950, the fact that Arsenal constantly finish in that top 4, but we have seen a dip off in them in recent years, but still a dip off. They stay within the top 10 teams. They are, no doubt about it, they are a top 10 Premier League side, Arsenal. Of all the teams you're going to see this season, Arsenal are in that top 10. They might be 10th, they might be 9th, they could be 8th, but they are a top 10 side. And they're currently losing 1-0 to Brentford. Amazing. Diego said the banter between Man United fans and Arsenal fans is brilliant to watch. Chalmers said the fans helped too. The roar after that goal was amazing. Calvin said, Days, this is about UFC. Could we see Poirier McGregor 4 sooner than we think? I honestly don't know. I don't know when McGregor's going to be fit again. Everything's pointing to Charles Oliveira and Poirier. The only thing I would say is Poirier did say he wanted to take a break. He did want to just step away for a little while. So it wouldn't surprise me if he spends a bit of time with his family and then doesn't come back until the McGregor 4 fight. So, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be that interested, does he, in the title at the moment? So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not expecting it any time like this year. I don't know when McGregor's back, to be honest, after that last fight. Arsenal went from the Invincibles to just a top 10 side. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They had a season where they weren't beaten, Arsenal. They played every team twice and they weren't beaten, and they're known as, that season they were known as the Invincibles. But again, this is where they've fallen from, you know. We were saying how I bet Arsenal fans would take Arsene Wenger back now to get them, like, you know, guaranteed top 4 again, because he was constantly getting them top 4. He just wasn't getting them the title. But I think Arsenal fans would take that now, because it feels like they're quite a way off top 4. I don't think top 4's happening for them this season. And it's got nothing to do with this result so far. Even if they win this, I don't think they're getting top 4. Daz says, I'm a Liverpool fan and I want Brentford to win. Dave, shout out to you. Appreciate the support. George says, everything changed when Ozil left. Well, I mean, he was not pulling his weight, was he? I think he was a bit of a problem for them. So I think he was going to have to leave. But yeah, it's been a bit of a rough, bumpy time, hasn't it? You could say everything changed since they left Highbury. I mean, Highbury was a real fortress for them. Just doesn't feel like the new ground is anymore. We're about to get underway with the second half, though. So 45 minutes left. That's it. 45 minutes. I love these football streams. I'm so used to like really long Olympic streams and whatever now. I'm still in the mindset that like all the streams are going to be like 12 hours long. But yeah, 45 minutes left to go. Second half coming up. Can Brentford hold on? Can they hold on? Days, guess when my birthday is? I will give you a clue. It's near the... I don't know, but is it November? Ajer says, are you excited for SmackDown and Rampage? Yeah, sure. I think SmackDown will be a good show. Rampage, well, it's the debut episode, isn't it? So that's going to be big as well. Right, here we go. They're saying they need to try and get the ball into Smith Rowe. So Gary Neville saying we need to get the ball into Smith Rowe, see what he can do. I mean, to be honest, I think they just need to get the ball into that forward line. It just has not been getting there. There's been a real disconnect between the defence and the attack. Right, referees coming out. We're about to get back underway. Arsenal are already out there. Don't believe there's any changes. Okay, here come Brentford. Big cheer for Brentford. The manager really going over. So he's still talking to him as they're coming out. Like he's really trying to get like the last minute instructions across. He was talking to Ivan Toney, who I have to say we have not seen much of. I haven't been talking about Ivan Toney all that much. Just haven't been seeing him. And he was someone I was really interested in seeing what he was going to be able to do. Right, the teams are finally out. There was a bit of a delay there, so we should be back underway with this second half. Looks like it's Brentford that are kicking off. Brentford Community Stadium is the name of this ground. Surprised they didn't sell the naming rights. You would have thought someone would have come in to have sponsored them. It's in September. Very cool. Start must be December. I'm looking forward to SmackDown. Awesome. Anna said, does Arteta remind anyone of a G.I. Joe doll? I can't say I've looked and made that connection myself, but I will definitely have a look. It's not the worst thing to be compared to, is it? Better than being compared to a Barbie. It's kind of crazy as well after Anna pointed out that fact that this whole ground holds 17,500 people. One stand at the Tottenham Stadium holds the same. Brentford trying to dink a ball in and just go straight into the hands of the Arsenal goalkeeper. So we're back up and running, second half. And what can Arsenal do? I would imagine that they will push a little bit more. Maybe take a few more chances. Maybe run at Brentford a little bit more rather than trying to pass it around and have their passes intercepted. Days 1 week tonight since last week's NXT releases. Man City are going to beat Spurs 100-0. He does look like a G.I. Joe doll there. They just showed him. I've never thought about it. But it's a good observation. Right. Arsenal on the ball. Playing it forward. Goes into Chambers. But Brentford able to win it back. Battling away. Ball goes out. It's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. Brentford heading it forward. Bouncing around. Here come Arsenal on the ball. Charging forward. This is good for Arsenal. So Smith Rowe out on the right-hand side, playing it into the centre. This is better. This is better by Arsenal. Out to the left. Arsenal, low shot straight at the goalkeeper. That was it Tierney that took the shot? Tierney took the shot straight at the goalkeeper. We saw Tierney playing for Scotland during the Euros. Really, really good player. Great attacking threat. Likes to get forward. Very much you see that from the fullbacks, kind of bombing forward, trying to get crosses in and whatever. But there, he took the shot. It was probably the wrong option. Some of that stuff in the final third, again, another example of Brentford being in Arsenal's final third, trying to play that pass and the ball just getting stuck under the feet. We keep seeing it. There's another example there where I tried to play a pass and just couldn't get the pass out. Excellent. Good work. Ball up. Headed away by Brentford. Doesn't head it away too far. Falls to Arsenal. In and around the halfway line. So we've got the passing stats. We can see it's 63-37. So Arsenal just enjoying a bit more of the possession at the moment. I like the fact that Brentford's game is that they're very possession-based. And they've only had 37% of the ball, but they've looked just as dangerous. They've done a really good job of ensuring that Arsenal can't get at them, which isn't their usual strategy. They're normally very possession-based and they like to keep a hold of the ball. Ball launched forward, headed away by Brentford into the midfield. Do you think WWE will make more cuts? I think so. Yeah, apparently there's big changes coming, so I think so. What are we going to put on those shelves? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. I would like the background to feature something for each team, to be honest. So I need to try and find a way of putting 20 things in the background. So I could see the shelves housing quite a few items. Something that represents all of the teams. And we've got a bit of wall space as well. Said as well, we've got the screen, which I definitely want to use. But yeah, it's going to be something that we're going to grow. This is the start of us covering matches. So here's Arsenal breaking forward, but the through ball just goes all the way through to the Brentford goalkeeper. So, yeah, this is the start of us covering Premier League. We've got 2 Premier League games tomorrow, 2 on Sunday as well. And we're going to just build the background up. So, this is it at its absolute bare bones. But we will build it up and find a way. We'll get, like, some pictures up and stuff. Here we go. Lovely shot. Great save. Great save by the Brentford goalkeeper. So, Smith Rowe starting to come into the game a little bit more. We saw Smith Rowe in that kind of free roaming 10 position. He was out on the right-hand side, getting the ball, trying to bring it in. He receives the ball in the centre of the park, strides forward. He's surrounded by Brentford players. He's got about 5 Brentford players around him, but he manages to get a shot off, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. It's a comfortable save. But you've got to say that's probably one of Arsenal's best opportunities there, what Smith Rowe was able to just do. Ball out to the left-hand side. Spurs trophies on the shelves. Oh, wait, it's empty. We need the Wealdstone Raider on screen. Wrestle with Andy, hope you're well. Who do you support? Wrestle with Andy. I don't actually know if what team you support. Let us know, buddy. TJMR Proman said Smith Rowe is the fastest player on the pitch. Do you know, I don't actually know the speed of the players. I don't know how Smith Rowe compares to, like, Ivan Toney. So if he is actually the fastest, that's really interesting. Oh, good work by Toney, but tries to feed the ball across. Couldn't quite do it. He ends up playing it out. Brentford going to look to whip a cross in. They do. In the middle of the penalty area. Couldn't get a head on it. Falls out. Brentford picking up the ball. Playing it back. We've gone back to the midfield. You feel like that opportunity has gone. But what I like from Brentford is they're passing it around and there's always options for them. They're doing a really good job of making sure that they're getting into space. Playing it back again to the goalkeeper. Down the middle. Simple balls. They don't really put themselves in danger. Arsenal aren't really pressing. A lot of players into space, but yeah, Brentford just keeping hold of the ball at the moment. Nice header. Forward. It's a nice idea. Went down. Challenged by Arsenal. Brentford doing all right here. When I was at my high school, my class had more trophies than Harry Kane. Ajer, if City had no major worries from me, at least we get a massive check from it. James Chadwick said Rangers are 5-0 up. Interesting. Days, do you remember the funny chant Posh Spice likes it up the Arsenal every time David Beckham played, lol? Well, I didn't realise she was a fan of the Arsenal. But there we go. I'd imagine most of the Spice Girls enjoy it up the Arsenal, to be quite honest. It's a great club. Very accommodating. And based in London, where I'd imagine most of them live anyway, so goes back to the Brentford goalkeeper. Yeah, that's crazy about Rangers being 5-0 up. Be cool if that was Brentford. Arsenal on the ball, rolls out. It's Chambers on the ball. Bounces off the Brentford player, and I mean, what Brentford will want to do is just try and kill some of the momentum. They're just showing, because there's a little bit of momentum with Arsenal at the moment. But, yeah, they're just showing the fewest touches. Bellingham has had the fewest touches in this game so far. Just really, that's a damning stat. Because Bellingham is the striker for Arsenal, and it means they're just not getting the ball to him. He's just completely isolated, really. Ball launched forward by Arsenal. They've managed to get on it in and around that penalty area. Playing it out to the left-hand side. Is that Tierney? Whipping it in. Back post too long. Too long. It was just a little bit over Smith Rowe's head. Smith Rowe on the ball at the moment. Nice ball into the centre. Congan well cleared by Brentford. Brentford just having to do a little bit of defending here in and around their penalty area. Lokona not able to keep it in. And yeah, I'd say Smith Rowe is probably the most impressive player that Arsenal have got at the moment. I hope PSG sell Mbappe next year when his contract expires, and then they sign Ronaldo, and then we would get Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo playing together. 56 minutes gone, 11 minutes gone in this second half, and we're starting to see a little bit of movement. We're starting to see Saka getting ready to come on for Arsenal. So we could be seeing substitution very, very soon. Thought that we would see Saka. Thought that we would see him early. And it looks like that's going to be the case. So Saka getting ready to come on for Arsenal. Days, you have to say Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe. Here we go. Throw him for Arsenal. Into the penalty area. Well cleared by Brentford. Headed back. Pepe on the ball. Into Chambers. Playing it forward. Smith Rowe into Pepe again. Pepe's got just a Brentford player in front of him, but seemed to struggle to find a way through. Arsenal just passing it around, but Brentford doing a really good job of staying quite compact and not allowing Arsenal through the middle, keeping them out into the wide areas, trying to clear. Again, having to try and defend for their lives at the moment. Arsenal doing a really good job, really putting the pressure onto Brentford. Pepe into the penalty area, and the ball rolls out. That was good work by Brentford. It didn't allow Pepe to actually go anywhere. And here we go. Saka is about to come on. And it's going to be Bellingham that goes off. So, standing ovation. This is great. Brilliant from the Brentford fans. A standing ovation. Big, big cheer for Saka. It is brilliant. Oh, you love to see it, don't you? Look, Saka comes onto the pitch. And it's everyone on their feet cheering. Right, so Saka on the pitch now. Bellingham goes off, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what he can do. Can he inspire Arsenal? Rangers, Liverpool for me. Rest with Andy, shout out to you, bud. Here we go. Ball played forward. We're not seeing Brentford getting those opportunities that they got. It's going to be a long half an hour if they're going to be pushed back here. Great reaction for Saka. Brilliant reaction for Saka when he came on. Arsenal are getting more and more dangerous here. Good shot straight the way through, though. So that was not bad from Lokona. Miss Clown 1, hope you're well, buddy. TJMR Proman said, Brentford fans have to be the most respectful fans ever. Did you see what I did there, B? I saw what you did there. Yeah, I mean, Brentford fans have been brilliant. I think what the Premier League needs to do as well is it needs to kind of restore the honour of English football as well. I think England themselves did a great job, but I think the English fans really let themselves down during the Euros. I think it's a small minority, but it's unfortunate that it's what went around the world. I must admit, I wasn't bothered by the fans trying to break into Wembley. I know, like, I probably should be, but it was the European Cup final, and it was at Wembley, and we know there's 30,000 empty seats. So, what did they expect? I mean, I could tell you right now that fans without tickets are going to try to get into that stadium. Like, you don't need to be a genius. Like, you need to have a serious security presence to ensure that, there's just no way that anyone's getting in. But it wasn't good enough. As soon as fans saw it wasn't good enough and they were able to get past it, they went for it. They got past it. They got into the stadium. Then we got some ugly scenes where we had fans turning on fans, fans with tickets, turning on fans without tickets. It was then being reported that it was like a racist thing. Turns out it wasn't. It was just fans with tickets trying to attack fans that didn't. It was fans with tickets attacking those that were breaking into the stadium. That's the video that was doing the rounds. But it was being portrayed that it was like England fans fighting with fans from other nations, like Italian fans. But that wasn't the case. There could have been some of that somewhere in the stadium, sure. We didn't cover ourselves in honour that night. We didn't do ourselves proud at all. And, the booing of the national anthems was already controversial. Then you've got, like, scenes of people breaking in and fighting. Then, obviously, you've got the fallout with the racism afterwards, which you never know where that's coming from. Like, I still don't know that that's England fans, because it was all done online and it could come from anywhere. But I think one of the people in particular I know was in England, was someone that I believe was, a football fan that was an England fan. But I don't know if all of it was. Either way, whatever the truth was, whatever it was that went down, it didn't reflect well on England and English fans. And I just think that this kind of stuff hopefully, goes around the world and shows what football fans are really like, what the majority are really like. We've got Brentford fans here. They've not done any chants that have attacked Arsenal or anything. A little bit of banter's fine. But there's been nothing malice here. It's just been Brentford fans singing "Hey Jude," having a good time, cheering on their team, applauding Saka when he came onto the pitch, who's a player for the other team. Like, I think Brentford fans have come across brilliant. Ball goes out to Pepe. Pepe in Brentford's half. We've only got 27 minutes. Oh! Wide. It looked for a second like it had gone in there. The camera angle definitely made it look like it had gone in, but it was a shot. It bounced off the Brentford player. It went wide, and it's going to be a corner kick. So Tierney is... Tierney's causing a few problems. He's definitely an issue for Brentford. Few times he's managed to get into a good position and get a shot off. Ball whipped in. Oof. And ends up going out for a throw-in. Majority of the abuse online did come from the UK. Certainly not true England fans. Yeah, it was bad reflection. As we said, I want to say it's the minority. I was saying during the Euro streams, like, England fans are me, and you, most of you in the chat were supporting England. It's my friends, it's my family, it's, you know what I mean? You went down the streets and there was houses with flags out. It was just everyday people supporting. Good people. But it's just, we do have these problems. We can't ignore it. There is racism in the UK. And when you have like a loss like that, heartbreaking loss, whatever, it rears its head. Here's Brentford taking a shot straight at the goalkeeper. Brentford need to bring on some fresh legs. I'm not sure who they could bring on, though. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I don't quite know what their bench is like. The players that I know of Brentford are all on the pitch. I know of Norgaard, who's actually been really quiet. I know of Canos, who's been brilliant. I know of Ivan Toney. I know of Pinnock. I know of Jansson. Here we go. Brentford again. Looking to get a shot off. Oh, good save. Good save. Was that Mbeumo again? I tell you, Mbeumo, there's been a lot of talk about Ivan Toney, but Mbeumo has been the more active of the two strikers for me. Mbeumo, low shot. Goalkeeper has to get down and make the save. Yeah, I didn't even see Ivan Toney in the build-up to that, but good opportunity for Brentford, and really that's the kind of opportunity they need to be taking. I think I'm saying the goal would have counted as well. Saka on the ball, playing it out. Cleared by Brentford, but only to the edge of the penalty area. Little shot comes in, but bounces off the Brentford player. 63-37 still at the moment. I'm proud of what we achieved in the Euros. Definitely. I'm proud as well. Brentford need to bring on fresh legs. We spoke about that. Days Bayern and Borussia Mönchengladbach is going to be a draw. Finn Balor versus John Cena tonight. If Balor wins, he joins the main event of SummerSlam, says Connor. That's correct. Yeah, I forgot about that. Got that coming up in a bit. I don't know that we've got Friday night football for a while, to be honest. Friday nights is not a usual night for football. It was last season, but that was because fans couldn't get to the ground, so they spread the games out a bit more. Lovely ball in by Arsenal, but no one in there to get onto the end of it. So, I think we normally you would get games on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You don't normally get anything on a Friday. But obviously this is the season opener. This is the game to kickstart the Premier League. And at the moment, it's not going Arsenal's way. Although they have looked much better in this second half. Saka on the ball. Look at Saka driving forward. Goes down in the penalty area, but no foul. That might have been a foul, but referee not interested. Brentford on the ball. Quick passes, playing it around. Arsenal managing to retrieve it. Some lovely one-touch football. Arsenal on the ball into Saka. Saka playing it into the middle, but couldn't find the ball through. Arsenal, again, winning it back. Brentford just really struggling to get any kind of spell on the ball. Playing it out to Pepe. Pepe, Chambers, back post, Saka going down again. Here's Arsenal. Oh! That was Xhaka with a big opportunity. Blasts the ball from outside the penalty area. We're just seeing the ball going down and takes the shot and just goes over. That was a really good opportunity. It was inside the penalty area, actually. Yeah, I think that's a big chance. That's the kind of thing you need to make sure that you're getting on target. So we're getting into that final 20-minute period. Ajer is coming off and Sorensen is coming on for Brentford. We've got an Arsenal substitution as well. Nelson coming on for Arsenal. Martinelli coming off. I think Martinelli has been very underwhelming. Haven't seen much of Martinelli in this game at all. So no surprise that Balogun and Martinelli have gone off. So Nelson coming on. Here's Canos. Yeah, he's trying to pump it into the penalty area, but there was no one in there. Really, considering Toney scored 33 goals last season, just have not seen him at all. Nelson on the ball for Arsenal, in and around Brentford's penalty area, but no joy. Let's go Brentford and Arsenal, says Legend Killer. Who do you think will win the Champions League, says Louis? It's hard not to say PSG, isn't it? I mean, they've just signed Messi. They already had a great team that was there or thereabouts, and then you signed the best player in the world. The Brentford manager just urging the fans, give us a little bit more, help us get over the finishing line. 18 minutes to go, that's all. 18 minutes to go. It is Brentford 1, Arsenal 0. And this would be quite the way to start the new season if Brentford could get 3 points here. They're on the ball in Arsenal's half. Yeah. Mbeumo, I think, has been a really good outlet for Brentford. He's looked the more active of the forward line. I still think that Canos has done really well in the midfield. I think he, for me, is man of the match at the moment. Sorensen with a long throw. Look at that. All the way into the penalty area. Oh, is it a goal? It's Norgaard. It's a second goal for Brentford. Wow. Sorensen with a massive throw. Massive throw. The ball goes all the way to the penalty area. And Norgaard is there to just head it in. That is huge. The second goal for Brentford. Wow. Look at that throw. It causes... I mean, you've got to say that the goalkeeper's got to do better there for me. Look at this throw. I mean, there's just players everywhere. Norgaard comes in, smashes it in. So, Norgaard... I mean, this is so strange that they've managed to score 2 goals and neither of them have been Ivan Toney. He was their main goal threat. Look at this. And White has got to do better. He's just standing there as the ball just bounces past him. I just need to see if it is Sorensen that gets the credit for that. I'm not sure that Sorensen is going to be credited for it. We'll have a look at the fantasy football thing. Fantasy football. First goal since September 2020. Tell you what, Arteta must be wondering what the flip is going on right now. What the flip is going on? Wow. I tell you, Brentford are rocking. 2-0 against Arsenal. They are absolutely showing that they belong. They are absolutely showing that they belong. The next 6 fixtures for Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Tottenham are all in there. Ball goes wide. It was a chance there for Smith Rowe. Sorensen's long throw is flicked at the near post and headed in. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to give it to Sorensen, though. Fantasy. We've got Hey Jude going again. Yeah, they're saying... So, the official Fantasy Premier League is still to be confirmed. Yeah, so we're waiting to find out who it was. Right, goes out to Saka. Saka on the ball. Arsenal, 14 minutes. 14 minutes to go. They're currently losing 2-0 to Brentford. It's a massive result. Massive result if it stays this way. The new boys have schooled the pretenders. I love it, says Anna Dawes. Brentford have totally deserved this lead, says James Chadwick. Have they got Liverpool as well, says Daz? I don't think so. Not in their next 6. Arsenal, agreed. I think the Arsenal defence has focused too much on Toney and not paid enough attention to Brentford's other dangers. That's a really good point. Toney just has not... We have not seen much of Toney at all. And it could be that... It could be that they've not paid enough attention to the rest of the team. Still waiting to find out who the assist is. I've actually got the Fantasy Premier League Twitter account up. They've got it as TBC at the moment. So very much with our watch-alongs, I am going to be keeping that kind of fantasy game in mind because that's something that I enjoy playing as well. Arsenal are losing. They are. If Arsenal play like this, they won't be getting into Europe next year. Austin, shout out to you. Happy birthday to you. McLean said, I bet Arsenal fans have smoke coming out of their ears with how mad they are. James Chadwick says, Arsenal are going to get relegated. Oh, I tell you what. Arsenal fan TV will be very interesting. Arsenal fan TV, obviously one of the most established kind of football fan channels. They will be very, very interesting to get their thoughts on what we've seen here because I think Arsenal have been the better side in this second half. You'd have to say that Brentford goal really came against play. The other thing that it says as well is that teams need to be prepared for those Sorensen throw-ins. That is a real... What? Do you remember the player for Stoke? I can't remember who it was. There was a guy that used to play for Stoke that used to do that all the time. Used to throw the ball in, like long throws like that, and would cause like big problems. I think he's played really well as well. Mbeumo. Anna Heerdor says, Days, Arsenal, bottom of the table. These are things that I love to see. Shout out to you, Anna. Yeah, it's dramatic. There's no denying it. Onyeka is coming off. I think he's been really good. We haven't really spoke much about him, but he's been getting stuck in. Bidstrup coming on. I don't know anything about him. Bidstrup coming on Onyeka going off. Corner to Brentford in the 80th minute. Let's see what can they do from this. Ball whipped in. I tell you, I don't think Leno's doing a brilliant job for Arsenal in goal here. I think he's had a bit of a mare today. He just doesn't seem to be commanding that penalty box. Do you think that shows that Arsenal are too reliant on Aubameyang and Lacazette? Yes, to a degree, yeah. I think that once you remove... I mean, it's going to be the same for most teams. If you remove, like, the two best players from a team, you are going to start exposing the rest of the squad. And I don't think Arsenal have got great depth at all. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a really good observation. I think that shows here that their squad depth is not where it needs to be. I must admit, not playing Saka from the start, I don't know if he's got like some fitness problems or anything, but Saka for me is someone that can make things happen, and to only bring him on like the 58th minute or whatever, kind of feel like they probably could have done with him a little earlier. This second half has been much better by Arsenal. They don't really deserve to be losing 1-0 in the second half. Over the space of the game, look, 65% possession, 16 shots to 8. Both teams have had 3 shots on target. Like, there's not much in this. In regards to shots on target. But when you look at possession, and you just look at how the way the game has gone in the second half, Arsenal don't deserve to lose 2-0. But Brentford have played a great game plan. You know, they got that goal in the first half. They were arguably the better team in the first half. And second half, all right, they've been under the cosh, but not that much. It's not like there's been like loads of shots raining at goal. As we said, there's only been 3 shots on target. So, yeah, I mean, if you had Aubameyang, you had Lacazette, maybe they could be making something happen. I still feel like Arsenal need that player, though, that can pull the strings. I still feel like Arsenal need that midfielder that can really, like a Mason Mount, that can like link things up, or like a Fernandez that can get on the ball and can cause problems in and around the middle of the park. Smith Rowe, we've seen some stuff from Smith Rowe, but I don't know if it's not enough. Ball played for us. That Tierney into the middle of the park. Nelson on the ball. 8 minutes left to go. Curving shot. There's been too many shots that have gone over the bar as well. Too many shots from Arsenal that's just really ballooned over. They've got to keep their shots down. Arsenal's main player right now is Smith Rowe, and that is quite sad. Yeah, I agree with that. He has been their best player. We're just seeing the Brentford fans celebrating that second. After review, there is no assist awarded for Brentford's second goal. Sorensen's throw took a touch off Mari before being converted by Norgaard. So, unfortunately, there's not going to be any assist awarded for the second one. Sorensen doesn't get it. So that's a shame. A few fans were leaving, and I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be doing that. Why would you be going at this time? I understand trying to beat the rest of the crowd, but it's only 17,000 there. Do you think that James Maddison would help Arsenal? I think he would. He's made vocal he'd like to go. Yeah, he'd definitely help. He's a great player. He is the kind of player they need, actually. Yeah, Maddison's a great shout, and he has been, as you say, linked with them. I don't think Leicester would want to lose Maddison. He's probably not like the highest priority player, though, in all fairness, for them. But I don't think they'd like to lose him from the squad. But if the right price came in, I think I could see Leicester selling. Take a bit of money, though. Hard to get players out of Leicester. 5 minutes to go. It was Arsenal fans that were leaving, says Richard. Oh, was it? I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You know. Right, I think we've got a couple of changes here by Brentford that are just trying to run down the clock, and you'd have to think this is looking like a Brentford win. And, if you want to stay in the Premier League, he's looking good, by the way. Mbeumo is looking really, really good, Mbeumo, for Brentford. But he's just come off. If you don't watch the Premier League, you need about 40 points. The magic number tends to be 40. So if you can get to 40, that's when you can start to feel a bit more comfortable that you're going to stay in the Premier League. So you get 3 points for winning, 1 for drawing, no points for losing. So, 3 points here. Oh, goes wide. That was a decent little save, actually, by the Brentford goalkeeper, Raya. So, I think it was Pepe, was it? Yeah, Tierney's been really good for Arsenal. Pulls it back, side foot. It's a great save, I thought that he'd knocked that wide, but it's low, it's hard, and that's a great save by the Brentford goalkeeper. They're going to show it from a different angle. It looks like it's going in. Oh! It's a brilliant save! Yeah, well done. Well done, that man. So, yeah, 3 points, you know. I mean, you probably need to win... If you win 10 games and get, like, a few draws, probably need to be winning, like, 10 games, 11 games, and then getting quite a few draws. That's going to help you stay in the Premier League. To win the league, you need to be looking at winning, like, 30-plus games. More than that. In fact, what was the league last season? What did Man City actually do? League. Premier. Let's have a look at the league table from last year. Two minutes to go, and Brentford fans, as you can imagine, absolutely bouncing. Man City last year won 27. Thought they would have won more, actually. 27. Normally, it's about 30. 30-ish you look for. But 27, they drew 5 and lost 6. 86 points. Big. Here we go, another throw-in. Sorensen. Into the middle, but it's headed away this time by Arsenal. We've got Hey Jude going again. Great atmosphere at Brentford. It's going to be a tricky little place to go, this. They've given man of the match to Toney. I don't see it personally. I just haven't seen him getting involved all that much. I don't think he's better than Canos. For me, Canos is man of the match. Canos has been doing really well in midfield. Toney, man of the match. I know, I don't agree. I don't know what Jamie Carragher's been seeing, but Toney... I can't even remember any chances that he's had. I can't even remember, like, Toney missing opportunities or coming close. He hasn't provided any assists. He hasn't scored any goals. I don't remember him missing any chances. I have no idea where that's come from. I'm pretty sure I could name 5 players that deserve man of the match more than Toney. And I have Toney in my fantasy team. So I don't get that. 90 minutes are up. Anna says Arteta is the perfect manager for them. Carragher had an exchange with Arsenal Fan TV on Sky Sports. Cara said, my mate Ty will not be happy. Was that on the... what was that on? Was that on the update or whatever it's called? The overlap. I've been watching that channel. It's good. Bold, exciting, electric, special. Why did she spell electric with 2 E's at the start, though? It says B's down the side, and she's put bold and exciting, but then for electric, she's written E and then put the word electric. It's we see a lot of signs in wrestling. And I like to point out when there's some embarrassing mistakes. And there's an embarrassing mistake there. She's embarrassed herself there. It's a great night for her, but we can't get away from the fact she's embarrassed herself there. 5 added minutes. 5 added minutes here. Nelson's trying to get a shot off. I mean, Brentford will want to keep the clean sheet as well. They had a decent defense down in the Championship, but if they can keep out Arsenal, you've got to think they can keep out lesser sides. You might want to start having a look at like Brentford defenders now for your fantasy team, because any Brentford players are going to be cheap for your fantasy team. Any Brentford players will be cheap, so... what have we learnt from that point of view today? Diego says, unbelievable scenes. Brentford top of the Premier League. Do you think Chelsea will be able to win the World Cup? Yeah, normally the European teams tend to fare quite well. I don't know who's in it, but normally the European sides are the stronger sides. Right, here's Toney, but gets dispossessed. Yeah, I want him to get a goal. They're saying Toney would love to get a goal now. I'd love for him to get a goal. Thought 0-0. Thought 1-1. Did not expect 2-0 Brentford. This is a big, big surprise that will send... there'll be a lot of back pages being written right now. The back pages of the newspapers here in the UK. Brentford versus Arsenal, Friday night SmackDown, the premiere of AEW's fourth show. It's a night full of hype. Arteta's getting sacked in January. Brentford are dreaming of Europe, and I'm still dreaming of wearing Kelly's pink coat. Still, we've got Hey Jude going. I mean, we're at the point where I think we can say this is a Brentford win. They've got a minute and a half. It's one of the most famous nights in Brentford's history. I mean, Brentford beating Arsenal is massive for Brentford, but to do it the first game of a new season as well, like, this is huge for Brentford. And they will have picked up a few new fans after tonight, I'm sure. Here come Arsenal. Largely toothless, Arsenal. I think, for me, Arsenal's best players have been Smith Rowe, Tierney. I think has looked really good for them as well. Brentford fans want that full-time whistle. Dyslexic Lives mattress. Arsenal still have a chance, says Austin. There's Ian Wright in the stands. Arsenal legend. Ian Wright's in the crowd. Yeah, Ian Wright's in the crowd. Eva Marie, shout out to you. There, 95 minutes. Almost there. Waiting for this full-time whistle. I'm waiting for the roar of the crowd when it's confirmed. Ball in midfield goes out. It's going to be a throw-in, and that's it. And there it is. It is a fairy tale start. So important. You need 40 points to survive. This is about survival for Brentford. This really is about survival. If you used to say to Brentford fans, if you used to say to them fans, would you take 17th? Would you take that? End of the season, 17th. They would absolutely snatch your hand off for it. They would absolutely snatch. Of course they would. Of course they would. 17th, you get to stay in the Premier. That is what this is about. Can they stay in the Premier League? They've not been there for 70 odd years. Can they stay in the Premier League? Look at the singing. It is bouncing. Yeah, it is bouncing at Brentford. It's a game that they've won. They've won a game. One game. But it is like they've just won promotion. Look, there's people that have got their arms over each other's shoulders that are singing in the crowd. Wow. Yeah. It's brilliant. Arteta's going to be working at the McDonald's drive-in next week. Thomas Frank deserves all the credit, says High Flyer. Edward said, what have I just witnessed? Diego, shout out to you. Brentford, top of the Premier League. Need to rest. I'm going to Hillsborough tomorrow. If I ever appear again, then I've made it out safely. The away crowd. It's going to be bouncing. Have fun. Yeah, he's good, man. Look, the Brentford manager asking the fans, like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's great atmosphere, isn't it? It's a great atmosphere. I tell you what, when you look at Brentford, it just seems like a really fun club. Ah, look, he's called over. This dad's just called. Ah, quick little picture. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of, it looks like a really fun club to support. It seems like a really positive club. They've got some like really good players. They're going to be underdogs all season. Like, look at that guy. Look, that guy. They're showing a guy in the crowd who's like applauding. You can see the tears running down his face. You can see what it means to some of these people. It's touching, man. It's really nice. Like, this is what football's about. Honestly, it's like they've just won promotion. It is like they've just won promotion. It's brilliant. Diego says, man of the match has got to be Brentford's fans tonight. Dortmund's fans are going to be confused that they're singing Hey Jude. Yeah. Tell you what, Jude Bellingham in this side would be, I think they'd love that. Canos. I think Canos for me was man of the match, as I keep saying. I thought he was brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, like, the fans are singing, they're applauding, they're cheering, they're staying, they're being vocal. I mean, there's going to be hard times this season. You know, what's it going to be like when Man City come to town? What's it going to be like when... what's it going to be like when Man City come to town? What's it going to be like when Liverpool come to town? What's it going to be like when United... I mean, the place will be bouncing for those clubs when they play them. But Arsenal are a bit toothless. Arsenal are... this is a tough... I must admit, I think this was a little bit of a tricky fixture for Arsenal. I think Arsenal are lacking a little bit of confidence. They're lacking a little bit of... Where's he going? Jamie Carragher's gone over to the fans. It is a great time for Brentford. Yeah, there's going to be hard times. There's going to be hard times for Brentford. That's why they just need to enjoy nights like tonight. But, yeah, it looks like a really fun club to support. David Conley said, this is why the Premier League is the best. High Flyer said, Arsenal is toothless aggression. Are we going live tomorrow? Manny, we are. We're live. We're going to try and be live for all the live games. If it's on Sky, if it's on BT, we're going to try and cover it. Look at this, Brentford players walking around, applauding the fans. They're walking in front of the Sky. Nah, they were. They wanted to talk to the Brentford manager, and he's like, no, not yet, not yet. He's too busy going around and talking, like, applauding the fans and everything. I love the fact he's just turned down Sky Sports. Like, will you come and have a word with us? He's like, no. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Factual, this is why it's the best. Do you know Jude Bellingham has a brother called Job who recently made his debut? I didn't know this. did you know, and you will if you've been following us for a long time, you'll know that Jude Bellingham was born and raised in Stourbridge, and the first team he played for was Stourbridge Youth. You wanna get support in Stourbridge. That's what you want to do. Or Brentford, because they seem amazing. What match are you doing tomorrow? We're doing both of the big matches, but we'll be doing Man United versus Leeds. Amazing. And we will also be doing... Is it Liverpool-Norwich? I don't know why I'm asking that. I can have a look, can't I? Can I have a look? Oh, hang on. Live only on Sky. Yeah. Norwich versus Liverpool. So that's another promoted side in Norwich taking on Liverpool. Little bit different. Liverpool are definitely not toothless. Not like Arsenal. So that's going to be tough for Norwich. I would expect Liverpool to get that one. So Man United Leeds, Liverpool versus Norwich. And then on Sunday, massive game. Manchester City, the current champions, taking on Tottenham. And we also have... Is it like Newcastle West Ham? Which could be an interesting little game. So we'll be watching that as well. So we've got another 4 games this weekend. Jobe Bellingham is only 15 and looks promising. James Chadwick said, that was great. The fans are rocking. Speaking of Jude, Sky are going to be showing the Dortmund game. Days Wrestlevote said, Source said, objective for tonight is to amp up the rivalry with Reigns and Cena. Amazing. Arsenal, Anna says, end the season now. I could not be happier. Give the league to Brentford. I simply don't care. Zaher, shout out to you. Tall Paul said, Arsenal play Man City next away. Edward said, when Liverpool won the league, our first game of the season was also against Norwich. Very interesting. Manny Campbell said, looking forward to Man United, Leeds and City versus Spurs. Absolutely. Both of them games going to be tasty. Farmer's Son said, the bees are buzzing. Yeah. It's great, isn't it? What a way to start the new Premier League season. So I think we'll call it quits there as well. We are going to be decorating the background. There's things that we're definitely going to look to keep introducing. Like this very much is just the bare bones of what a watch along would look alike. But yeah, I'd love to use this screen in the background. If we can get like images of the goals, maybe we could even like at half time we could use that for that. Or there's going to be things that we're going to definitely look to do as we move forward. But, yeah, loved it. What a way to start. Brentford 2, Arsenal 0. I'm so pleased. If you're an Arsenal fan, I understand tonight's disappointing. But I think Brentford are, they're special. They're special. Every game's like a cup final for them. They've waited 70-odd years. This was always going to be, this first game in particular, was always going to be a big deal for them. I think you faced an inspired side that gave a lot, really went for it. They've had all pre-season to get ready for this game as well. Like, all eyes at home against Arsenal. This is one they've prepared for, would have spoke about. As the season goes on, I think it's going to get a bit tougher for them. But no denying, this is a result that is going to go around the world and send shockwaves and hopefully bring more eyes to the Premier League, which is it's a fantastic league. It's a fantastic league. You never know who's going to win each match, any match. We don't know who's going to win the league. Odds are it'll be Man City, but Liverpool stand a chance, United stand a chance, Chelsea, of course, stand a chance. We don't know who's going down, but a result like this is going to massively help Brentford. So, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to go off. We will be back in a bit for SmackDown and the Rampage stream. Really, really appreciate the support. I hope you enjoyed the stream as much as what I did. As we said, football-wise, we're back tomorrow with 2 games, an early one featuring Man United and Leeds. And then we're back later in the day for Norwich. Is it Norwich and Liverpool later in the day? I believe it is. So we'll be back later in the day for that as well. So plenty of streams coming up. Plenty to look forward to. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.